Ukraine's president seems to be backing down, as the BBC's James Waterhouse explains from Kiev.
President Zelensky has reiterated what he called Ukraine's commitment to peace and appears to have offered a big olive branch to Donald Trump by saying, "My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts." He even suggested specifics that an early peace process stage could involve prisoner of war exchanges, bans on drone attacks, and even a naval truce in the Black Sea. President Zelensky had been applauded by some for standing his ground against Donald Trump in the Oval Office last week. But today, not least with the pausing of US aid, he seemed to want to dial down the temperature of a debate which could decide the fate of his country.
Pope Francis resting after sleeping through the night with a ventilation mask as he undergoes hospital treatment for double pneumonia. Vatican says he rested well overnight, waking up shortly before 8 a.m. News and analysis at townhall.com. One university stands to lose a bundle.
The Trump administration is threatening to withhold millions of dollars from Columbia University, citing anti-Semitism at New York City's Ivy League University. Monday night, the Education Department, Health and Human Services, and the GSA announced a review of more than $5 billion in federal grant commitments to Columbia. Columbia was home to some of the most visible pro-Hamas protests last spring.
Correspondent Tasha Stevens. Mayors from Boston, Chicago, Denver, and New York set to testify in Congress as Republicans take aim at sanctuary city policies. Those policies mean that cities have limited or no cooperation with ICE. Republicans say the policies impede the Trump administration's enforcement of federal immigration law by protecting people who are in this country illegally, including some violent criminals. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. That was an aggressive welcome. I apologize.
Coming in hot.
I did. I was like, wow, that was aggressive.
It's been a busy morning. I think that's why.
Let me rephrase. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am. Is that better?
Yes.
I was like, wow, that was a little angsty when I said that. I didn't mean to. But,
harken back to his barking days.
Welcome. Come on in.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome.
Yeah. But good morning.
Yes.
Mike Winters, I'm he, all that good stuff.
The snooze alarm you can't turn off.
That's right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the middle of the week.
Ah, yes.
And before I start the show,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't watch one iota second of last night's speech.
You did yourself a favor.
Well, I literally felt I didn't need to.
Yeah,
because
it's all the same things over and over again.
Yeah, it's going to be the people that liked what he said are going to be happy. The people that didn't are going to be mad. Every time they have a State of the Union or State of the Union-like address, because I don't think this is officially a State of the Union.
It was an address to
it's always the same. People clap, people cheer, people boo. It's the same dumb stuff that goes on every time.
It did make me chuckle. And I'm not gonna talk about it at all.
Yeah.
I put a post up last night. I'm veering away from all the political stuff.
That's my philosophy.
But it did make me chuckle.
Yeah.
The way that the Democrats chose to voice their disdain. They didn't boo. They didn't hiss. They didn't. A couple of times there were some moments.
Right.
They had black paddles with words written on them, like "lie." This is a lie. And
I will say everything.
how is
whatever
this
side you are on, whatever, good for you.
I'm pretty sure that a few of them were just there to bid on a furniture set.
But I will tell you this, and I'm stereotyping here.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats are theater. I think all of them are theater students. You know what I mean? Like they all love. They're great at the theatrics.
Caught up in drama.
And so I'm glad they got the chance to. Glee Club got together and got to decide something.
Otherwise, it was just much ado about the same.
It's literally an excuse for grown people to act like 13-year-olds,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty much what it is. And so I choose not to watch it because I think it's the saddest thing. It's like going, be embarrassed about our country.
Right.
Watch the people leaders act like children in a room together for an hour.
It's a night for people who like prop bets.
Yeah.
So they can jot down the statistics. Ooh, how many standing ovations were there?
Yeah.
How many times did he unite both sides, and yada yada yada.
Yep.
It was just much ado about Ned.
So I didn't watch any because
the way I take in things like this,
Mm-hmm.
and this is kind of why I like the modern day take on things, is you go on YouTube. I mean, sure, you can go and find like a broadcast
Mm-hmm.
of what was happening. Go on YouTube and find a watch along. Those are great because not only do you get to like sit there and watch it with an influencer, a YouTuber, or whatever, somebody that you're a fan of,
right?
But you also get that chat.
When is Nickelodeon going to get involved with this?
I hear next State of the Union they're going to have
Simpsons or whatever.
They're going to have SpongeBob on one side and Patrick on the other.
I'm waiting for it.
Did you hear what they did? So I guess it was last week.
Uh-huh.
They had a game between the Lakers and I don't remember who, but they did it with. Do you know what One Piece is?
Like a swimsuit? Or a one piece and a biscuit? What are we talking?
I love how old you are sometimes. One Piece was an anime.
Okay.
It caught on real big here in the United States, here in the West.
Uh-huh.
And they've since become this. It was a Netflix. They did a live action, I think it was a season. I think they might do another one.
Uh-huh.
But it's basically a story. It's like a pirate novella story essentially. But it was a big deal. So they did the superimposed thing again, but they had the Lakers playing One Piece, like characters from One Piece.
Okay.
And it was.
I'm sure Roy's all up on
that's
this.
why I was kind of waiting for.
Oh no, I've never heard of this actually.
I was stalling until Roy came in.
Say Roy doesn't even know.
Yeah, no, I only found out about it because
it's still a one piece and a biscuit.
And I like the Lakers too, and I like the basketballs.
But you missed
I
one
like
piece.
the basketballs.
Well, you missed the one piece.
And the one pieces.
And a biscuit.
Okay, so
I like
it was
the Monkey D. Luffy's. And
they did the Lakers X One Piece collab, but they did a whole thing.
I don't understand a word you said in that sentence. One Piece collab. What?
Well, they included a biscuit.
Finish your words. Collaboration's okay.
Collaboration.
It's okay to finish the word sometimes.
So basically, it was one of those things where the two teams played, but up on the big gigantic screen above, they superimposed One Piece characters, Luffy and all those, Nuffy and whoever.
Well, I look forward to that for the next State of the Union address. Right?
Yeah, they should work that in. It was rather entertaining. But all in all, it was.
What network was it on? Was it on TNT or ABC?
I'd have to look into that. I'm not. I'll find out more and get back to you on it. But I'm surprised you didn't know about it.
Part of the problem, Roy, is it's basketball, and Sean cares about basketball as much as you care about
wallpaper.
Yes.
Actually, I'm an avid wallpaper enthusiast.
Roy's like, actually, I'm a wallpaper enthusiast. I have a collection of over period pieces from the 1700s all the way to today.
Ooh, let me go get my sample rolls. Okay, fine. Bad analogy.
This is the Victorian era room with wallpaper. Oh man.
But yeah, so it was a Tuesday.
Yeah, well, happy Wednesday.
Oh, and so happy that the wind is going to be at least sort of at bay today.
Today's kind of the eye of the hurricane.
Yeah, it really is. It's collect your dead.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Right. If you got outdoor things to do, today's that day to do it, because tomorrow's going to be back to the windies and all that stuff and the blowing dusts and all.
Hold.
Right.
You may gather your dead.
That's
we
right.
will attack at dawn.
Yes, that's what we got right now. Like, matter of fact, I got company coming this weekend, and I got to clean the patio. And Kim was like, "We'll do it over the weekend." I said, "Nah, there's like all this wind." I was like, "If I do it now, it's going to be done. It's going to be pointless." So I said, "I'm going to do it right before they get here." Well, tomorrow's going to be another suck windy day.
Yeah,
they come Friday. I have meetings tomorrow. They're coming Friday. So guess what? I'm doing on the oasis of the day today. I'm going to clean the patio.
There you go.
In the hopes that tomorrow doesn't
mess it back up,
ruin it too much. So
well, just what you do, and I've seen the way your yard is set up. It's actually it's convenient because it's got the walls on either side. So what you do is get a big sheet of plastic once you're done,
and put over
a big roll, and then just tarp it off. Just tarp off the whole
People
enclosure.
think you got a meth lab growing in there. Or something.
Yep, but only till the wind dies down.
And if you know my
and then
neighbors,
write, not a meth lab on it.
and my neighbors will be nosy and checking. They're like,
Of
"Oh, we
course.
got that's a meth lab. Call the cops."
They're 90. What else do they have to do? It's this. They're waiting for their stories to come on. They're gonna peer out the window.
I think I'll fire up the grill when that happens too. It'll look like a Cheech and Chong movie.
Billows. Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
But yeah, so that's part of my deal here too.
It's going to be interesting. I think that I've been trying to think of like creative solutions for the problem that you're encountering. Basically, Mike's Mike's going to have a whole full house situation over the weekend.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
We'll
get through it.
It'll be something. There's going to be a lot of right behind you's. Excuse me's.
Yeah. Now that let me do the numbers here in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people in a
two
bedroom.
Yeah.
With 3 beds. And 2 bathrooms.
You know how we solve this? We wonk it up.
Yeah.
You guys sleep like Willy Wonka's or like Charlie Bucket's grandparents.
Yeah.
Just head to toe, side by side. Your bed's big enough. I've seen it. You put the inflatable with that. That thing's like a Texas King.
Well, if that's the logic, then Kim and I are going to get stuck in a dresser drawer because we're like the short of the kids, of course. But I mean, they're catching up.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Have you ever slept in a bathtub? Because you're about to.
Well,
it's actually not a bad sleep.
I have. I was in the United States Air Force.
That's fair.
I've slept in lots of places.
It was a rough night. I'm gonna sleep in here where.
You know what?
There's a drain.
If I could get a hold of a jammer. It's a bomb lift truck. It's what I use to load bombs onto aircraft.
One piece what?
Yeah, it's called a jammer. Okay. If I get a hold of one of them, I'll sleep in the forks. Man, some of the best naps I've had is in between the forks of those jammers.
That's fair. We have a jammer in Artesia.
Yeah.
I can get a hold of one by the weekend.
An MJ1 preferably over an MJ4 because the J1s are perfect for the butt groove. The J4's too big.
Size queen.
Well, it's.
No, you have your preferences. I understand.
Right. Yeah. I got demands
when it comes to bomb loading nap material.
I got a demanding buttocks.
He does, man. He really does.
More than I wanted.
Half of this show's budget just goes to Mike's butt guy.
It demands more of my life than I want it. On that note, let's get the show.
It looks like the Lakers were playing the Clippers that day.
There you go.
And it was on a Saturday too. I was busy that night.
Why did they name the team after something they use at a barbershop?
Why do they name any team after anything?
I'm like, waiting for someone to
I was like, why did they name the 49ers the 49ers? I mean, I'm sure.
By the way, the Clippers is a ship. It's not. It's not barber shears. But
I know what a Bruin is now, but I didn't know what it was before you explained it to me.
An old
Boston Bruins.
An old wooden ship.
No, it's a bear.
I thought that's what San Diego meant. All right, let me give you the rundown for today's show. We were going to have the folks from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce join us here in just a few minutes. Andrew and Gary are waiting patiently in the other room. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview we had with Mark Richards from Maya Ashley Foundation and star, actor, and best-selling author Kevin Sorbo.
I don't know what sound effect that was.
I don't know.
It's supposed to be a sword slashing through the air.
I don't. Yeah. Disappointed. John kept playing me a clip from Turkey.
Did that come up at all?
No,
Did you mention the fact that he's a meme?
I kept that out because that would have.
That's how I would have ended the interview. Just real quick, Tell me why tell me what it's like being my favorite meme.
He may be salty about that meme, and
right?
You brought up, and next thing you know, they canceled the gig, and I just ruined it for everybody.
Canceled the gig.
So I don't want to do that. So, but anyway, we had a great interview with Mark and Kevin, talking about they've got a golf scramble going to be happening in April down in Artesia. And Kevin's going to be speaking at the banquet Friday night, and I think in golfing as well. I guess I think one of the prizes for their silent auction is go around
Kevin
the golf.
Sorbo.
Yeah,
you
get
actually
the round
win him.
Yeah, you get him as a golf partner.
Yeah, a weekend with
Past that
Hercules
is up for negotiation.
I hope he runs at his swings like Happy Gilmore, just with all the.
Well, apparently he's a really good golfer. He's an avid golfer, and he golfs a lot. And he like I asked him, teaser for the interview next hour. I asked him. I said, because he was telling me his kids are are in acting, and I was kind of like, okay, who's the better actors now? Your kids? You? He goes, oh, my kids got me way better. And I said, what about golf? Oh, I'll crush them in golf. So
you don't lose that competitive spirit.
But anyway, you hear that more next hour.
Nice.
We'll play that interview for you, and then in the 9:00 hour, we're going to replay our interview we had with Doug Weiser from the Walker Aviation Museum. And had a great conversation with him as they're hoping. I know it's going to sound like every time they come in, it's open soon, but they are legit hoping by the end of the month here they're back in and opened up here.
Nice.
So, but anyway, we'll get that update from them, and of course we'll play all of the commercials, the newses and sportses and all that stuff. Before we do any of that, let's play the weathers. So here it is, your weather. Enjoy today. Tomorrow will suck again.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still a little breezy, but not nearly as windy today. Few gusts around 25 miles an hour. Lots of sunshine, and we'll be in the upper 60s. For the overnight hours, a few clouds drifting through, upper 30s to low 40s. It will get a little bit more windy on Thursday with another storm system coming through. Mix of sun and clouds. We're in the upper 70s, wind gusting to 50 miles an hour. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 36 degrees here in Roswell. It's all working. Because an hour ago, I thought the wind took out the weather gauges at the airport because it said the current temp was NA, the humidity was NA. It gave me winds, but that was about it. But now it's all there. So I guess someone kicked the machine over at the airport. Currently 36 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 59%. Winds, I haven't said this in a few days, calm at the moment. We do have a fire weather watch. Is that tomorrow? Yeah, that's for tomorrow because it's going to suck again tomorrow. From 9 to 7. But for today, enjoy your eye of the hurricane, so to speak. Sunny skies today, highs near 70, 69 officially. The best part, south winds 5 to 10 this morning, 10 to 15 for the afternoon. That's a walk in the park compared to what we've been dealing with. Mostly cloudy tonight, overnight low of 40, south winds at around 15 miles per hour. And then it all comes back tomorrow. Widespread blowing dust. The sweet spot for the dust, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mostly cloudy, high of 78. At least the temps come up when they start blowing this nastiness around. So I guess silver lining. Windy with winds at 10 to 20 early, increasing 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour by tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 43. Winds will be blowing out of the southwest, 25 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. After midnight, those winds will drop down 15 to 20 miles per hour. Friday, breezy would be a good term. Sunny, 71 for a high. Winds will be out of the west, 15 to 25 miles per hour. And then just for funsies, good. No? I was about to say, just for funsies, 30% chance of showers Friday night. It used to say snow and rain. Now it just says rain. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 35. But Saturday morning, there is a 60% chance of rain and snow showers likely, becoming all rain after 11. So you can wake up Saturday morning with snow. After 78 and wind blowing and all that, yeah, we're going to wake up with some snow. But mostly cloudy, gradually becoming clear as the day progresses there. 46 is our high on Saturday, so it's not even going to be that warm. And then we're looking at a 20% chance of rain and snow Saturday night, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 28. And then all that goes away, sunny and 62 on Sunday. And sunny and 71 on Monday. So welcome to New Mexico weather, where you get your entire season of weather in a 3-day span. All right, 7:23. We're going to pause for a 2-minute break, and then we will talk with Andrea and Gary from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details, 2nd and Sycamore, and 1309 Southeast Main.
When managing a chronic illness, access to the right treatments makes all the difference. Artesia General Hospital's Infusion Center provides IV therapy and biologic treatments, so you don't have to travel far for care. Expert infusion therapy right here in Artesia. Call 575-736-8256 today to learn more.
Springtime is coming quickly, and that means it's time for the spring open house for high school students and their parents at Eastern New Mexico University. Join us Saturday, March 22nd, as we welcome potential students and their family members to campus. ENMU will feature campus tours, opportunities to meet with current students and professors, information on scholarships, and chances to win great prizes. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
This is the time of year we can get all 4 seasons in just one day. Hi, this is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. 1 minute you're sweating in the sun, and the next minute you've got slush in your shoes. But that's winter in Roswell, and after 127 years, we're starting to get used to it. It's too early to plant very much, but you can fertilize pecan trees, spray for dandelions, order your bees, and pick up a new seed catalog. So come see us at Roswell Seed. Like Jim Gill would say, enjoy the warm days, but don't go far from the fire.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrew Moore and Gary Thrine back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's
been a day?
Yeah, how's everything going? Survived the winds?
My low-grade migraine has subsided for a moment until tomorrow.
Yeah, but I can breathe better today. I was thinking, my eyes and everything, they're a little bit better this morning.
Oh, my goodness. On Tuesday at the office, you felt like you were in a bubble.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden about 2 o'clock, I had to go run some errands.
Yeah.
So I was leaving the office going down Richardson. It was blackout conditions in front of City Hall. If people didn't have their headlights on, somebody would have gotten hurt.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, I was here because I'm where I'm always at. And I couldn't see the Sun West building, which, I mean, you can see clear as day right there. It's 2 blocks away.
Oh, my gosh.
That was completely invisible from the dust storm.
Yeah. And you would think in this area where there's buildings and stuff, it wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah.
In fact, it was worse here in the downtown area than it was at my house. And I'm up where all the houses are being built off of Country
Where there's
Club.
more dust?
Yeah.
Well, I think it pushed it all here. There's no dust there because it all got here.
And so it was kind of comical in that respect.
Sure.
And then as soon as I got past City Hall and kind of up the hill by the Institute, then it was like a sun cap. Like you could see the sun, but then you were inside the dirt bubble.
Right.
It was very humorous how New Mexico works.
All I say is if you're a filmmaker on Tuesday, you should just get B-roll because I'm sure you worked that in a movie somewhere.
Right?
Heck yeah. Some kind of Armageddon.
Right, exactly.
That's a wrap.
That's right, exactly. But, of course, with springing, that means events and things get busy all around town, including at the Chamber of Commerce. It's been busy, but it's going to pick up and continue. I mean, there's things weekly happening at the Chamber now.
So our big event that we're pushing right now, because in 22 days,
that's right,
we have Rise with Roswell. If you are unaware, March is National Agricultural Month.
All right.
And so every year, the Chamber of Commerce celebrates the ag community and our agricultural providers, because we are, after all, a rural community.
Mm-hmm.
And Rise with Roswell this year will be Thursday, March 27th, out at the fairgrounds. The doors will open at 6 a.m.
They're in Hobson Hall, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Always at Hobson. Well, not always, but
when it was before there was no Hobson Hall,
Right.
obviously it wasn't there.
We're at Hobson Hall, unless we outgrow it, and then we do have a backup
let's say
plan.
we can go into the big building, the commercial
Correct.
building. If we
There's
need to.
always places
That's right.
to go, but right now it's Hobson Hall, and they can hold comfortably about 250 people.
I'm about to say, every time we've held events in there before, it's been plenty of space,
Yeah.
and everybody's
So
had room
if we
to
get
mingle.
300 people, I mean, I'm happy to go
That's
across
it.
the parkway right there,
Right.
the walkway, and
We'll have to start a drive-through.
gosh, wouldn't that be cool? That's right. Grab and go. Here's your
Right.
grab and go breakfast.
But here's the thing, folks. This is the Rise with Roswell breakfast.
Yes.
Sorry, this is for farmers and ranchers. Their hours aren't the same as your hours.
Correct.
So this breakfast starts at 0600.
It does. But the positive side is you're done by 8,
That's
so you
right.
can still go and enjoy your day, go to
Right.
work, go to school.
Or tell the boss that breakfast went long and, go, punch
Maybe
in at
take
lunch.
a nap. That's right.
Whatever you got to do.
So, and this year, our speaker, her name is Michelle Miller, a.k.a. the Farm Babe.
All right.
And her bio is she's a reformed city girl who had bad information and even worse food beliefs. She was reborn as an ag evangelist, an internationally recognized keynote speaker, podcaster, writer, columnist, social influencer, and champion for global agriculture. From fashionista to farm babe, Michelle shares her unexpected career journey. Today, she's on a mission to be a dedicated mythbuster, truth teller, and influencer for modern farming and food, with more than 350,000 followers and a monthly reach of over 5 million agriculturalists. Farmers, entrepreneurs, and consumers, she shares her message far and wide.
Nice.
And she's got a little bit of comedy in there as well. It's going to be fabulous. Once again, this year, Golden Corral is going to provide our breakfast.
Nice.
And as always, the farm breakfast is just that, a very traditional farm breakfast, eggs, sausage, bacon, and of course,
Gravy.
always a lot of coffee,
Yeah.
biscuits and gravy.
If you're
So-
on a strict calorie regime, this may not be your
Correct.
breakfast.
You may need to put a pause
This is a
on the diet for
country
this morning.
breakfast, not a I just worked out at the gym breakfast.
or just tank up for breakfast and then skip lunch and dinner.
That's
this
right.
is the breakfast you want and lie that you never eat.
Correct. And of course, we're always looking for event sponsors. If you'd like to be an event sponsor, you get a minimum of one table that seats 8 people, but you can have as many seats as you would like.
Sure.
We have table sponsors where you are guaranteed one table of 8 seats.
Sure.
Both event and table sponsors, we will predominantly showcase your logo and give thanks to you. It'll be on all of our information that is pushed out. In fact, this morning, I have to go update our website because we had some sponsors come in last night, so I need to make sure that they get prominently
Get their
posted.
shine. Yeah.
We have a placemat that goes out, and our table and event sponsors are on there as well. And the placemat also serves as our agenda. So when you come to sit down, you'll know exactly what's going on. And
It's called being resourceful,
Correct.
multitasking,
Well,
using all your resources
absolutely.
for one
We-
thing. Yeah.
We got to try to do the best that we possibly can.
That's right.
And then last night kicked off the Walk for Alzheimer's.
Oh, great.
We did host them at the Chamber of Commerce. The walk will be November 1st. And this year they're trying a new location. It'll be out at Rusticay Sports Complex.
Oh, they're going to move it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know they kind of like doing it downtown on the courthouse lawn.
Yep.
So they're going to take it out to the Rusticay.
Yep, they're trying some new stuff. They're just
Cool.
going to see where it works because it's been out at Cielo Grande.
Sure.
Last year it was at the courthouse.
And I know, talking with some of, like Don, he's one of the folks that wears many hats, but he kind of meant, because they want to do it in a visible place, because
Correct.
they wear the purple and it's raising awareness, and so they want to do it as a public place as possible. So when y'all drive by and see a bunch of people walk around in purple going, what's going on over there? And then they say, oh, it's about Alzheimer's. Come on in and let me learn you about it. But now's the time to start formulating teams and all that kind of stuff. I believe if you go to alz.org and then you can click Roswell, and then there's a whole...
and we're going to have a link in our weekly newsletter. I'm going to get it on our social media. I'll even have a link predominantly on our on our website as well, because obviously I personally have been touched by dementia. And
it's almost like cancer. It's getting like, where cancer, it's like if you aren't directly, somebody,
Absolutely.
directly. And Alzheimer's is almost at that level where maybe you yourself or your spouse, but you're like, I have an uncle or I have a friend whose mom. Or
and you may
like
not
that.
be diagnosed with Alzheimer's specifically, but Alzheimer's is a form of dementia. So most, just about all of us have been hit or associated or know somebody with at least dementia.
Absolutely.
I know my grandmother's.
And the cool part about it, and this is every time we talk with them on the radio here, the cool part about it is it's in our lifetimes, in the last 10, 15, they've made so much progress in research of Alzheimer's where they are very close to coming up with a way to reverse this.
Correct.
Whether it's being some kind of immunization shot or some kind of, but the medicines, thanks to all the research, a person diagnosed with Alzheimer's or some form of dementia today has a much better, longer lifespan of quality life after that diagnosis than, say, 20, 30 years ago. They can live years on the medicines and stuff and show minimal signs and stuff now. And they're getting to the point where we keep doing these walks, we keep raising this money. They're close to where they're going to, and I can't remember the color, and I'm so sorry. White. But they're waiting for the first white flower so they can say,
the
or white
first
pinwheel.
person cured from Alzheimer's, and they are on the verge of having at least a vaccine for Alzheimer's. Like, I mean, this is all stuff I learned last night, and
they're all close.
I was totally geeking out. It was kind of funny.
So that's what I'm saying. Get involved with this stuff, because legitimately, I feel like we're just a couple years away from seeing a breakthrough here.
And not just
we're at the
Alzheimer's,
goal
but
line.
like you were saying, with cancer, with all of these other things, because we are doing these awarenesses.
This is why I say we need to do this to mental health. We need to Susan G. Komen mental health. We need
agree.
We need to pick a color, pick a bow, a ribbon, start walking around. Whatever we got to do, we got to do that and raise the kind of money for mental health research like we do for cancer, Alzheimer's, and all these.
Because I think we're all affected by mental health in some way, shape, or form as well.
Every single one of us. And the more we get through life, the more we got to deal with it. Because the more we got to tend to those needs.
Absolutely. We need to just continue to stay healthy, be healthy, and figure out how to get healthy once we've, made those regressions, I guess. And then another thing that the Chamber has done was last week, Thursday, the Chamber and Main Street Roswell partnered together to host our first informational meeting about the air races. Yeah, we had standing room only. We moved all the tables out of our
We were within
boardroom.
reason, Mr. Marshall. Sorry, everything was fine. There's nothing to see here. Just move along about your day.
Yes, absolutely.
Nothing to see here.
We moved all the tables out, and it literally was standing room only. I had to go and grab some chairs from another location, and but it was fantastic. We learned a lot. The two big takeaways that I got from that meeting was we all know that there's not enough transportation in this town, so start getting signed up with Lyft and Uber. that is going to be a wonderful way
Could be
to
a very
make
lucrative side hustle for some people here during that time, yeah.
Because people are going to need to be shuttled from point A to point B.
Do we even have, I don't think we have Lyft in town, right?
I think they
got like one or two
guy.
people that work for them
Yes.
or something, yeah. So we need more than that.
Everybody
That one guy's gonna be busy.
understands that we are a small town. We are a rural town by nature.
Yeah.
And other than 1 week in May and 1 week in September, we don't need to have, 1,200 rental cars, for
Right.
example, because they'll just sit, 50 weeks out of the year. So how can we come together and make this an experience for everybody that's going to come in September? Well, let's go. Everybody become Lyft and Uber drivers. If you have some extra property where you are willing to rent it out for dry camping, because a lot of RVs will be coming out, you can do that.
Think of like when you go to Lubbock to see a Red Raider game and all those neighborhoods charge for parking around
exactly.
there.
That's exactly the concept.
Yeah, same
That's
logic
exactly
here. Yeah.
the concept is you can make some money.
Yeah.
I have all of the phone numbers and contact information at the office. So if anybody wants to get in touch with someone because you want to volunteer or you want to have some dry camping or you have you want to have a booth or whatever, give us a call at the chamber, 575-623-5695. We are happy to get you in contact with the people that you need to be in contact with.
Absolutely.
Because May will come very quickly and then September very quickly after that. There is also an app. If you have an extra vehicle and you're willing to part with it for a couple of days in May, a couple of days in September, it's like Airbnb for your car.
Okay.
And you can rent your own car out.
All right.
I forget what the name of that app is because I just learned about it last week. And of course, if I talk to my kids, they're going to be like, oh, Mom, you're so dumb.
It should be something like Road B&B or something.
Right? So, but once again, we will have all that information at the office if you give us a call.
Right.
Because this is going to fundamentally change this
Absolutely.
area. And I just give all the kudos to Mike Espiritu and his team over at the EDC.
I don't think people fully grasp what's coming
Correct.
to Roswell. And you will get a smidge taste of it in May. Take
yes.
whatever you see in May and tenfold it. That's what you're going to see in September.
I think it'll be at least 5 times bigger than the UFO festival, and it's going to be bigger than anything we saw.
We're talking
with
Balloon
Hike It and
Fiesta
Spike It.
number type
Yes.
thing. This is we're in Balloon Fiesta
Correct.
conversations now with this stuff. That's what we're talking about.
That's right.
And it's only going to get up and bigger from
That's
here,
right.
So.
But also think of all the wonderful things that are going to come from this because everybody has said, oh, I want to see restaurant A, B, or C come into town. I want to see shopping A, B, or C. I want this hotel. That's all going to come if we do a really good job. Yeah.
And it's already starting. I mean, just look at, what you're seeing in the newspaper and everything that's going on at the Air Center right now. That's
another thing. Everybody complains about the terminal out at the Air Center. You want to see an upgrade. You want to see state-of-the-art stuff out there.
This is how it happens.
This is the beginning.
Yeah. You want nice stuff? It takes bucks.
That's right.
How do you get bucks? You got to have people coming in and spending bucks.
At a minimum, we need to be kind and caring and welcoming to these people.
Yeah.
But
I'll
if you've
tell
got anything that you think you can share and collaborate and help be a part of the experience, let me know.
Like what's going on out at the airport, if that all comes to fruition as it hopes.
Right.
I mean, people, dare I say, I'm not saying we'll ever take aliens out of the Roswell conversation. That's always number one. But they're going to be thinking about airplanes almost as much as aliens.
Well,
when it comes
airplanes
to
and
Roswell.
aliens go together because aliens fly in the sky with the airplanes.
It's going to be cool.
I don't know.
Just embrace it, get ready for it, because if you take advantage now, you're setting yourself up for some success later. If you're looking to make money, people are like, I'm broke, and I'm telling you.
Yes.
If you're a little ingenuitive here, you could, get ready, get your Lyft or Uber or whatever. Whatever
you don't even have to do the dry camping. If you are in a location that you think would be a good parking area, you could sell those parking spots for the day.
Yeah.
And, because we're going to run out of parking spaces very quickly in this town.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to get busy. I put it this way. The week they're going on, might be a good week to, stay at restaurants and things because they're going to be very packed.
You may want to go grocery shopping a little early.
We, the locals, are just going to do what y'all do to UFO festival. That's kind of, that same logic people have. It's going to be
go
like that.
Go shopping prior, but
bigger.
Be in town and be helpful and gracious and really show our visitors a good time.
Kind of like when it was Hike It, Spike It weekend, and good luck trying to find Gatorade or Powerade in town.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody and their uncle were buying big gallon vats of Gatorade and Powerade.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have a nonprofit organization, this is a great time to volunteer to be, do trash detail or parking lot details.
The Reno Air Race folks love to get nonprofits involved with the whole operation and organization of the thing. They do have a soft spot for military folks. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Military organizations get involved.
Yeah,
right.
Because you will get a share of the profits. So, for example, if you are an organization and you help hand out waters or the programs, then you are going to get a portion of that money, and it will help you then seed whatever you're doing for the next year.
Absolutely, yeah.
Many of the organizations out of Reno would make their budget for the year from the air races every year.
That was their Black Friday was Reno Air Races.
And then everything the rest of the year is gravy, all the other fundraising. Yeah. And it's going to be work. I mean, it's not going to be
There's going to be
hard.
Thousands of people. They're going to be moving a lot of things. It's going to be hot out there. It's September. Right. It's still going to be, it's New Mexico. September's still going to be hot.
But it'll be fun. But it really will be fun and exciting.
Absolutely.
And it'll be well worth it.
And the other part is, wait to see the actual event, the racing.
Yes.
It's going to blow you away. We talk all about we got to get ready. Wait till you see what these people do in the air with these airplanes. That's going to blow you away. You're like, okay, now I get it.
That's right.
Now I know why everybody's coming here and why everybody. This is insane.
I'm so excited.
It's NASCAR in the air.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's NASCAR in the air.
And I'm excited because by the time the races roll around in September, then I will be done planning. Well, I'm not planning anything, but attending my daughter's wedding. So we'll be able to relax and really enjoy it. But between here and July, we're a little busy. No, she's not a bridezilla, but she definitely knows what she wants.
Right.
And this is where God has a sense of humor. He definitely gave my daughter my hard-headedness, and it is on steroids because she gets her mind made up, and she's not changing her mind. This is what I want, and you can just forget it.
As a guy and a husband, I know, reading between lines that conversation, her daughter wants one thing, and Andrea hates it.
No, actually, I don't. It's actually quite the opposite. It's everybody on my husband's probably listening to this, and I'm gonna get reamed. But he's the one that's having, he's like, oh my gosh. And I'm just like, you know what? I've had my party. I'm good.
Right.
Like, let her do her thing.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, it's her party.
Right.
And who cares what mom thinks?
Right?
Exactly.
Don't go to jail. Don't go do anything.
She does have particular colors, and this is super cute. Each family, her husband-to-be's family, she wants them to be in one color. She wants us to be in a different color. So that way when the pictures come out, it'll be very easily to say, oh, yeah, see, that was Grandpa's side, or that's Dad's side, or that whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cute. I wouldn't do it that way, but if that's what her vision is.
I'm going to joke because that's what I do. And then you can have a rumble afterwards.
Yeah,
like a West Side Story rumble with the pinks versus the purples.
And in this corner.
But it'll be fun.
Yeah,
I'm excited. And it's our first wedding in my family.
Good.
So
good. Well, you have more kids, so I think there's more on the way. I would think of one more.
I got two more daughters, and they are taking note. They're like, okay.
Right, they're going to take examples. So because whatever this one is, they're going to want. Well, at least the women, the daughters.
One will.
Yeah.
One will.
The
other one doesn't care.
Yeah,
my son's like, because
boys don't care, but the girls.
And he's the oldest, and everybody's like, so when are you getting married? And he's like, he looked at his girlfriend, and he goes, don't even get any ideas. He goes, I'll let you know when I'm ready, because it's going to be a while.
I hate to burst her bubble, but if you want to wrangling, you need to do the wrangling on him, because he ain't coming to you.
No, I have a feeling he has found his one. I'll be shocked if things change. But he's already told her, he goes, I have a timeline.
Nice.
and here's where my timeline's leading. This is what I want to do.
That's
and
such a guy brain. I have a list.
He does. And that
That's
kid
guy
is
brain
driven.
101 right there.
He is driven, and the other two are like, whatever. But with that,
Yeah, but we got a couple more things we got to get through, and we're running a little short on time here. So, a couple things, Gary. That we we got a few minutes here,
fine.
but yeah, talk about what's on your radar, Gary. Hurry, go, Gary.
Well, I want to say that I've been the membership director now for just a little over a year.
Yeah, it's part of it. It's been a year
from
already.
1 January 24 through the end of February 25, we have 56 members that have joined the chamber.
Nice.
So I'm real excited about that. We have just recently here the January and February and now March members, Area 52 LLC over on West Tilden. We have Hummingbird Cabins from Ruidoso that have joined remotely. We have Wags and Whiskers Pet Hotel that they haven't broke ground yet.
Oh, nice.
But that's a ribbon cutting to break ground and then a ribbon cutting
Is this like
for
one of
the
those
grand
places
opening.
where they kind of treat your dog like nicer than you?
I think so.
More to follow.
All right.
I will get
Very
updates
good.
as
Like
we
you're like,
get.
can people stay here too, or just pets? Right.
We have Gyro Studios out of Las Cruces. They do promotional videos, and we have Permian Road Safety Coalition out of Midland, Texas. They have the Texas, West Texas, East New Mexico, Southern New Mexico areas that they do their responsibility. So they wanted to be part of the chamber.
Nice.
And then we have yesterday we had the Adult Teen Challenge of New Mexico out on Alameda. They're like a rehab for teenagers.
Okay.
So we're excited to have them on board.
Great.
Big thing, though, is we are about to have our big ribbon cutting. We had one last month, and we've got one more that's coming up here this Saturday at 1000 West 4th Street. That's a corner of Union and 4th.
Okay.
It's Dr. Rodriguez Audiology, and that'll be at 1 p.m. This is their 10-year anniversary.
Very good.
So come out and celebrate the 10-year anniversary for.
We've had them on the show, and they're very thorough and they got some great. It's way more high tech than you think.
Exactly.
and that's pretty cool. So check it out this Saturday. Rain or shine. Good news is most of that's going to be indoors. So
right.
So the weather.
I've been talking to her, texting back and forth. It's like, are we going to do this inside? Or are we going to do it outside? And
well, good news is we won't make you sit out in the cold if it's too bad.
No.
We'll bring it indoors. But please come in.
She's pretty much figured we're going to be inside with a 60% chance of rain or snow.
Yeah.
So, we'll be inside. So, but please come out and celebrate that. And then there will be more ribbon cuttings to come because we've still got a lot of folks that joined, the 56 people.
Yeah.
We haven't done ribbon cuttings for all of them yet, and they are all kind of deciding, when.
It's kind of a season.
When do we want to do?
It's like wedding season or anything else. There's ribbon cutting season.
And
right.
As always, we all have room to do business after hours.
Absolutely.
So once again, Gary's been doing a great job. I'm just so proud of him. Without him, I don't know where we would have been this last year. Probably a whole lot of nowhere because I'm one person and there's only so much I could do. So I am very appreciative of Gary coming on the team.
We kicking butt this year.
But he's always on the phone hustling and business after hours. If you want to showcase who you are and what you do, and you don't have to even have a reason other than I just want to have a party.
Yeah.
Let us know. We typically do them on Thursdays. But if there's like a particular day or date that is special to you. So for example, I always use Hippie Chicks as our example. That's kind of an off day.
It's like a tradition for them.
Because Terry has her specific date and she always wants to do her date of her anniversary.
It's like an annual event. Yeah. And she makes an annual.
And sometimes it's a she doesn't do Sundays, but sometimes it has been a Saturday or a Tuesday. We do try to stay away from Wednesdays for obvious reasons. It's kind of church day.
Busy night for churches and things. Yeah.
Right.
But we like Thursdays.
And Mondays,
it's a great way to
no one
wrap
likes
up
to
the
do
week.
things on Mondays. But
And if you're thinking about joining the chamber and you're not sure what the benefits are and everything, if you go to our website, Roswell, the word spelled out, nm.org, in the upper right-hand corner is a join tab. click on that. That opens up the membership benefits page. If you have any questions, my email and my membership cell phone are at the top of the page.
Yep.
You can peruse the website. Andrea is always updating it, and you can, like I said, the only question I've ever said is a bad question is the one not asked. So
correct.
if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call or email me.
Let Gary talk, and it doesn't matter what your business, whether you're a mom and pop or a Fortune 500 company. There's options and opportunities,
and we have all kinds
of
businesses that we've signed up, not only under Gary, but in the past, that are, home-based businesses, that it's, little Miss Sally that does whatever little
a web-based
widget.
business.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So let us know if you do commerce or have commerce in Chaves County and in Roswell. You really should be a member of the chamber, because we help everybody, big and small.
Absolutely.
And we can set up a ribbon cutting for you in our boardroom. We've had a lot of home-based businesses do that, because obviously you don't want everybody coming to your home to celebrate your ribbon cutting. But if you've already had yours, if you've joined, you've been a member for a while, and just want to have an anniversary ribbon cutting,
nice if we do it though.
Just let me know, and we will clear out the conference room, and we'll have the red coats come, and we'll do an anniversary ribbon cutting for you.
And absolutely, and then about short on time here, but also, if you're interested in being a red coat.
Exactly.
Always could use more red coats.
I just handed out an application last night for a new red coat. A little bit more testosterone in the group.
Yes.
So, good. Yeah, they're the official class of the chamber. They are our kind of our face.
Yes, they are.
I do appreciate our red coats, because I've been a red coat for 9 years, and they are wonderful. They come out. They love to support the community,
and when you see them coming, something new and something happening in town. So,
that big pair of scissors and the red ribbon.
Everyone loves the red coat. So if you want to,
I want to make a big plug. We have a community calendar. I need to do a better job of tooting our own horn on that. If you have an event that is going on, whether it's a small event or a big event, there is a tab on our homepage, roswellnm.org. It says Community Calendar. Right under that tab is where to submit an event. And as long as it's, community friendly, we're going to accept it. But we want this to be the community calendar. Hey, what's going on Friday night? Well, you go to roswellnm.org, you click on our calendar, everything's there. You don't have to be a member. All you have to do is be having an event in Roswell and Chaves County and put as many details as you want.
Kind of like that guide on your DVR or whatever. You say, hey, what's on tonight?
Because
making that kind of thing.
There's really not one location that you can go. I know that I have to go to 5 or 6 different places on Facebook, on Instagram, on the, internet, and there's not one place. So if you've got an event, roswellnm.org. If you have any questions for Gary Thrine or Andrea Moore, 575-623-5695. We're located on the corner of Richardson and 2nd, 131 West 2nd. You can't miss us, because we have a huge wall with aliens on it. Come in and see us.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Andrew. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Absolutely.
All right, 7:56. We're going to pause for news, weather, and then your Chaves County Sports Report, brought to you by DSI. That's up next. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. State transportation crews will be proceeding with improvements to New Mexico Highway 128 from Jowl west towards Eddy County. The massive $430 million project will eventually rebuild the highway from the Texas border to New Mexico Highway 31. The project is expected to take more than 2 years to complete. The intersections are divided into priority items by the NMDOT. The first part of the project to improve Highway 18 and Highway 128 in Jowl is expected to begin this summer. There are new details in the case of a missing person who was found dead at the Village of Carlsbad Apartments on National Parks Highway. The victim is identified as 31-year-old Jaden Kennedy, who had been reported missing on February 24th. Carlsbad police have not said whether they believe Kennedy's death was a homicide. Kennedy had recently moved to Carlsbad from Texas, but it's not clear how long she had been in our area. Anyone with information is urged to contact Carlsbad Police. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still a little breezy, but not nearly as windy today. Few gusts around 25 miles an hour. Lots of sunshine, and we'll be in the upper 60s. For the overnight hours, a few clouds drifting through, upper 30s to low 40s. It will get a little bit more windy on Thursday with another storm system coming through. Mix of sun and clouds. We're in the upper 70s, wind gusting to 50 miles an hour. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Running a business is tough. Operational demands change fast, and keeping up can feel impossible. That's where DSI comes in. We've been helping local businesses thrive for over 25 years. You might know us for printer products, but we're your one-stop shop for cutting-edge office technology. From managed IT to video security, audio-visual technology, and more, DSI has everything you need. We're flexible, local, and have the resources of a national corporation. Be more productive. Make more money. DSI, the heartbeat of business. Visit DSINM.com.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. You want to talk a little baseball? Why not? The teams have already started playing. The Roswell Coyotes are seeking their first victory after starting their season with a doubleheader in Alamogordo on Saturday. Lost both games. They were both close. First game 3-2 in 9 innings, and then Roswell falls to Alamogordo 12-10, high scoring game in the nightcap. They're going to play spend a lot of time in Alamogordo. Roswell plays Ruidoso at the Alamogordo round robin Thursday at noon. Then they'll play Lovington Friday and NMMI on Saturday. Meanwhile, Goddard is 1-1 after splitting a doubleheader with Farmington. The games were played at Sandia High in Albuquerque. First game, Farmington wins easy 10-0, but Goddard bounces back to win 11-9 in the nightcap. Marco Rodriguez 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. We're going to replay our interview with Kevin Sorbo and Mark Richards, My Ashley Foundation. That's coming up next hour, so stay tuned. We'll be back.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. When it comes to finally ending the war in Ukraine...
Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
President Trump in last night's speech to a joint session of Congress saying that both sides now indicate they are ready for peace talks. It was a wide-ranging speech, Mr. Trump proclaiming America is back. The president defends his imposition of tariffs on China, Canada, and Mexico.
Tariffs are not just about protecting American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country.
Mr. Trump says reciprocal tariffs will take effect April 2nd. In his words, whatever they tariff us, we will tariff them. And he says all it took to fix the border crisis was a new president, one who's willing to enforce the law. The Democrat response delivered by Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
We just went through another fraught election season. Americans made it clear that prices are too high and that the government needs to be more responsive to their needs.
Democrat heckling throughout the president's speech. One disruptive lawmaker standing up, shaking a walking stick and screaming, having to be removed from the chamber by the sergeant at arms. Powerful storms have killed 2 people in Mississippi, ripping the roofs off an apartment building and a nursing home in Oklahoma, and threatening communities across the Deep South and parts of the Midwest. All of that wicked weather now moving to the east. China planning a major boost in its military budget, a 7.2% increase this year. That would match last year's increase. Tensions running especially high between China and the U.S., as well as between China and Japan and Taiwan. On Wall Street, stocks are higher at the moment. The Dow is up 230 points. The Nasdaq ahead 52, and the S&P trading 19 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
The parties involved in talks to form Germany's next government have agreed to boost military and infrastructure spending by hundreds of billions of dollars. And Germany's incoming chancellor says hiking military spending is especially important.
Germany's Christian and Social Democrat parties are still in negotiations to form a coalition after last month's election. But they're acting with urgency because they fear the United States is no longer committed to European security. Exempting military spending from the constitutional debt brake would allow massive rearmament. A €500 billion infrastructure fund would boost an economy suffering from decades of underinvestment. Friedrich Merz is rushing to get the moves passed by the outgoing parliament, as he won't have the necessary two-thirds majority once the new one convenes.
The BBC's James Reed. Residents stacking sandbags ahead of a tropical cyclone forecast to become the first in 51 years to hit the Australian east coast near Brisbane, the nation's third most populous city. Townhall.com. Well, the tax man going on a diet.
The IRS is drafting plans to cut its workforce by as much as half through a mix of layoffs, attrition, and buyouts. The federal tax collector employs roughly 90,000 workers across the United States. People of color make up 56% of the workforce, and women represent 65%. The IRS has already laid off about 7,000 probationary employees. Along with most federal employees, IRS employees have also been offered deferred resignation program buyouts, although IRS employees involved in the 2025 tax season were told earlier this month that they would not be allowed to accept a buyout offer until mid-May, after the taxpayer filing deadline. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
A convicted killer will face the firing squad in South Carolina, the first such execution in the U.S. in 15 years, and it's set for Friday. The inmate chose the firing squad over other execution methods. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
No, the deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy middle of the week.
Wednesday.
Almost there.
A calmer Wednesday. You see the eye of the storm.
Yeah. Wind.
Windless day.
Wind. Well, there's a little
Yesterday
wind.
was Wednesday.
Yeah.
Today is just Wednesday.
Nothing. Oh, well.
Nope. I was trying to find, because you had hit really just a groaner of a dad joke.
Yeah, that was level 10 bad.
Before we came on the air. And I'm trying to find it because I think I saved it. I found one yesterday that was almost as bad.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if I can locate it. But yeah.
Yeah, because I'm trying to do off the cuff now, but the bad one I saw was I found out you can't use beef stew as a password because it's not stroganoff.
That's the one. That is the one. I guess I didn't save it.
And that made me giggle. I know people are like, oh, yeah, it's bad, but it's not bad. It's a little witty if you're the guy who thought it up. You know what I mean?
It did strike me as, all right. I'll give it to him. Yeah, it is bad.
I saw another one that made me laugh too. Is I think we really missed an opportunity when they called the name dentures. We should have called them substitutes.
It's pretty good. That is pretty good.
Save that joke for Keon.
I'm going to. By the way, I was just going to say a big thank you to Dr. K over at Carabelli Dental for providing me with a new set of substitutes.
Yeah.
Went in and got new tops yesterday. And it was just kind of funny because my case, a bunch of my files were lost in the flood. So a lot of what was happening yesterday was sort of like improvisational dentistry. I actually made the joke while I had another man's hands in my mouth. I made the joke, improvisational dentistry, but because we were trying to figure out which mount we had
He's probably looking at, oh, that's right, that's what I did.
And he, at the end, he's tried all these different ones, and each time it's like you're basically having to reopen the wound essentially. Yeah. And so the first couple of times it was like painful, a lot of pressure, and then finally he's like, let's just go ahead and numb him. I'm like, no, just let's go. Let's push through. It's already been bad. It was not nearly as bad after that. They finally figured out it was the one it should have been all along, the default. But got him in.
Got to try them all first.
That's right. That's right.
Well, cool.
So back to solid vittles for me.
So I got to ask, because I know when I told you yesterday, you said you couldn't wait to eat.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Fantastic.
What'd you have?
Sandwich.
Oh, you didn't eat like steak?
It was like a Philly.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, it was a good sandwich.
Then you're going to go for like corn on the cob or nice steak or something, you know?
No, I didn't opt for any of those just yet. We'll venture into that world at some point.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it was a nice evening.
All right. Well, congratulations. Good deal.
Thank you.
Enjoy it.
And again, thank you to Carabelli Dental for always doing what they do. And really, I mean, it's been amazing
watching
them
like
come back.
Implants, or they're there, right?
Tops are permanent.
Yeah. Okay. They don't come out.
No.
Gotcha.
They can. They did yesterday, but
like you don't.
No, I don't. That's why they were like, he ordered 2, and he's like, well, let's just send the other pair with him. I'm like, what am I gonna do with them?
You're right.
Like in a situation, even if something happens to these, I'm gonna have to go to somebody to.
To be honest, I would have accepted them.
Well, I said, can I just get the old set so I can like put them in like enamel and just put them on my.
Oh, I would leave them at places.
Just set them down on a bus.
Why not? At your friend's party? I mean, just
sir, you left your
Do you know what?
Never mind.
I've made my second Youngblood reference in a week here. Ooh. This is kind of weird, but there was one of the players had dentures, and his whole bit was he'd leave it in people's drinks at bars all the time.
That's why I left those.
And that's exactly what he goes, oh, that's what them sugars were. And he goes, that's how he met women. And he put it back in his mouth. So just saying.
Could you throw a motor in there? Maybe put a little chatter on it. Just have him walk across the table.
Yeah, just saying. There's opportunity
could have been
here.
Could have been my thing from Addams Family.
Yeah. I got another thing I got to before we get to our interview and all that thing. Another trend that is disturbing me. At first, I thought, oh, that's kind of really funny. All right, but now everyone's doing it with everything. And it's really, and I know how your feelings on AI, and you know my feelings on AI.
Here we go.
But this is a trend now that I'm not liking.
Okay.
And someone's taken various iconic TV shows and doing baby versions of of
haven't
like the
seen
opening sequences. Like I've seen a Sopranos one, which a Tony Soprano's a baby is nightmare fuel. I saw a Friends one. I've seen like several different ones of these, and they're all equally creepy.
I don't know about those. I haven't seen those. The ones that I have seen are they're live action like versions of cartoon shows in prime time. So like somebody did like The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But like what they would look like in real life.
Uh-huh.
That was horrific.
Ugh.
They did Family Guy, same thing. They did King of the Hill, I think.
Yeah, those are weird. I've seen a couple of those, but the baby ones are the latest trend, and they're driving. At first, I was like, oh, now, but after seeing a couple, I'm like, this is nightmare fuel. Like it literally looks like Joey as a baby, and
is it like Boss Baby?
No, it's like literally taking the opening, I'll be there, and then putting babies. Now they don't do the whole dance like everything, but it's like I'll be, and then they show Joey, and it's baby Joey, and it's Monica, baby Monica.
Right.
It's all creepy because it looks like adult baby versions of them.
And they're not.
Is it like in an animated style, or
It's
is it like
no? It looks
it's live action.
It's
or is it?
it
Oh,
looks
okay,
like a photo
like
or
literally
like
a baby version.
Yeah,
of
it
that.
looks like real. It looks like real people. It's all the AI stuff, but it looks like real babies and real humans. It's just they made their faces look like the characters.
The problem with it is once you look at it,
The Sopranos is the worst one because it's all them Goomba guys,
right?
Oh shoot, his name went around in my head, but the one that kind of had the white pompadour. His name is. I've watched that show 1,000 times. His name just went right out of my head. But like seeing him as a baby, you don't walk that one back.
Yeah. That's the thing is once you look at something, this is how it works for me.
Yeah.
Once I look at something and realize that like my brain processes this is AI.
Yeah.
It sickens me for the rest of whatever's I'm looking at because I know that human is a human, and at any point in time they could change forms or morph or do something that's gonna mess my head.
I don't like it.
It's so creepy.
And the other one I'm seeing a lot of too, which I equally don't like, even worse than this one, is pets cooking food. Like it's like cats and dogs making burgers and pizza. And
I saw one of those.
What is wrong with you people?
That's very off-putting. By the way, can we please? And I know
that's weird. He take his footnotes.
I know as soon as I say this, I'm gonna get inundated with it again on Facebook. But I'm so tired of seeing all these. Well, this is my first time working with wood. Please, give me praise for what I've done. And then you go down to the comments, and it's like, "Amen, Christ be with you." And it's like all these people that are like thinking that this person who's never worked with wood in their whole life, just carved like a Siberian timber wolf, out of a tree, a log you found on the side of the road.
I'm new to this, but let me just. Yeah, I've never done that before, but that's pretty much professional quality.
Roy, thoughts? Because I know you tend to not side with AI, but you get AI.
I get it.
I'm old man yells at cloud with AI. It's like I love technology. I love technology.
Well, there's one picture. It's like exactly what you're talking about with the paint. It's like a little girl who painted herself or something, and everyone's like saying like, "Oh wow, you did such a good job." You could tell the picture is AI because the girl has like 6 fingers.
Yeah. It's like why is your thumb also just a finger?
Yeah,
but good job.
But the thing is, that's going to get corrected.
Yeah,
give it a couple years, and that's going away.
And that's the problem. I've heard somebody saying this is the best way I've heard it put. AI technology right now is the worst it's ever going to be again.
It's going to get better, and you're going to get fooled. People are getting fooled now.
People are getting fooled now.
It's straight up going to be.
Did you see
they curtail this crap some way or some? I don't know how, but they're going to have to.
Coca-Cola. Christmas of last year, they recreated 2 of their iconic older commercials with AI, and you can tell. You can it's very obvious.
I will say we're in the dial-up modem phase of this thing. It's gonna be better. It's going to be much more realistic and much more unrecognizable from reality versus AI.
I always thought that the future was going to be like those uploadable robots like on Futurama, where I could just put one in a machine and Lucy Liu would pop out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's so many fantasy things over the years that I'm just like, I wish that was a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, the movie Click kind of stole one of my thunders.
The remote?
The movie Click.
No, I know, but
the remote concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, I was like, I wish I had a remote. I could just like stop time now and do whatever I want because I gotta get up and do my homework. I don't want to do all that. So I can just stop the clock and just go about my day, and then eventually I do my homework and then start it and go. You know, I didn't get like the Click movie.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm not gonna. That concept was in my head as a kid, way before Adam Sandler thought of this movie.
Sure. So they stole your concept, but you didn't flesh it out.
No,
because you didn't think about the ramifications of if I stop time while time is still going, I'm gonna age way faster.
I was trying to get out of homework. That's all I cared about. I think I was getting that deep with my problem-solving skills.
If you go deep enough on it, there's a whole like subsection of the internet that talks about Saved by the Bell and how Zach Morris is actually some kind of like evil time lord because he can hit time out, and that like that having that power alone gives him like the power of like all universes, like the multiverse.
Yeah.
He can control any.
He's an Avenger now.
Yeah, that's essentially what they were saying. Is he's one of them.
All right, I got to get the hour.
Sean,
going.
I know you've seen the movie Clock Stoppers.
Yes, I have.
That was that's basically the same concept.
Same, yeah, because that was the whole thing was
well,
the kid was aging.
One could argue Harry Potter with the
time turner.
Hermione's little.
But they never fleshed out the ramifications of what happens when you're in still time and everyone else is.
We had a story to get to. We have time to create a new story. Leave that to Star Wars. All right, it is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. Like I said, we're going to replay our interview we had with Mark Richards from My Ashley Foundation. Great organization. It kind of spawned from tragedy with his family. But they are having a golf scramble event here in April and banquet. Kevin Sorbo.
Yes.
You might know him from Hercules or many films or books. He is going to be guest speaker, going to be golfing that weekend. We had a great interview with Mark and Kevin yesterday, so we're going to play that for you here in just a few minutes. But before we do that, your weather. Enjoy the creamy nougat of today before you get into the chocolate suckiness of tomorrow.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still a little breezy, but not nearly as windy today. Few gusts around 25 miles an hour. Lots of sunshine, and we'll be in the upper 60s. For the overnight hours, a few clouds drifting through, upper 30s to low 40s. It will get a little bit more windy on Thursday with another storm system coming through. Mix of sun and clouds. We're in the upper 70s, wind gusting to 50 miles an hour. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 39 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 53%. Winds are calm at the moment. Sunny today and a high near 70, 69 officially. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 this morning, 10 to 15 for this afternoon. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 40. Winds will be out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow, they've already issued a fire weather watch. Looks like that will take place at 10 a.m. or begin at 10 a.m. and remain in effect through 7 p.m. tomorrow. Expect widespread blowing dust, mainly between the hours of 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. tomorrow. Mostly cloudy with a high near 80 tomorrow, 78, so it's going to be warm. But the winds will be blowing out of the south, 10 to 20 early. As the day progresses, those winds will increase 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tomorrow night. Expect an overnight low of 43. Winds will be blowing out of the southwest, 25 to 30 miles per hour, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Winds will drop down 15 to 20, which is not much of a drop after midnight. Sunny on Friday and breezy with a high of 71. West winds 15 to 25 miles per hour. There is a 30% chance of showers Friday night. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 35. And then we're just going to give you everything in one week here on Saturday. We're looking at a 60% chance of rain and snow showers on Saturday. Rain and snow, and then mostly switching over to rain after about 11. Mostly cloudy, high of only 46 on Saturday. Saturday night, we're looking at a 20% chance of snow showers, rain and snow before 11. Mostly cloudy, gradually becoming clear with an overnight low of 28. And then sunny and 62 on Sunday. Sunny and 71 when you head back to work on Monday. So we get the gamut all coming. We got a nice day today, the winds and that, rain, maybe a little snow showers, and then back to sunny again. Welcome to New Mexico. You'll get all that here by Monday. All right, 8:22, we're going to take a 2.5-minute break, then we're going to play our interview with Mark and Kevin. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Do you want to improve the appearance of your smile or increase your self-esteem and confidence? Many people have already chosen to update their smile with veneers. Here at Carabelli Dental in Roswell, we work with our patients to understand their smile goals. With veneer treatment, we can eliminate gaps between teeth, solve the problems of stained teeth, and even perfect uneven or misshaped teeth. You owe it to yourself to have the smile you know is possible. Call us now.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When was the last time you looked forward to sleep? Let's be honest here. You know a restful night's sleep has more health benefits than you consciously think about during the day. Here at Glenn's, we carry Serta mattresses, and they've been in the business for more than 90 years. Choosing one can be hard, but I want you to know we have your back. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
Get ready, Artesia. The main event car show and cruise is rolling into town Friday, March 28th and Saturday, March 29th, 2025. Friday night, we're kicking things off at 6 p.m. with the Main Street Cruise. Watch as classic cars, hot rods, and muscle cars take over Main Street, cruising by the decade. It's a moving history lesson with a whole lot more horsepower. Then Saturday from 9 to 3, downtown Artesia transforms into the ultimate car lover's paradise. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, bikes, even tractors. It's free family fun with music, friendly competition, and more. Want in on the action? Register your ride at artesiachamber.com or stop by 107 North 1st Street in Artesia. The main event car show and cruise, March 28th and 29th in downtown Artesia. Brought to you by the Artesia Car Enthusiasts, Artesia Chamber, and Artesia Main Street. Paid for by Artesia Logitech.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us on the phone this morning from the organization My Ashley Foundation, we have Mark Richards. And also joining us on the phone, actor, best-selling author, and all-around good guy, Kevin Sorbo. Good morning, gentlemen. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I mean, great. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much for spending a few minutes here with us. Before we kind of get into everything, they're coming up here April 4th, 5th, and 6th. My Ashley Foundation is partnered with the Artesia Downtown Lions, and they're hosting a big golf scramble. But the 3-day weekend event's going to kick off with a banquet that Friday night, the 4th. And, of course, Kevin will be guest speaker for the event that evening. So before we kind of talk about that and kind of hang out and talk with Kevin here a little bit, Mark, I kind of want to give you a chance to explain what this organization, My Ashley Foundation, obviously, for folks who don't know, this is personal to you. This was started by you, but give folks a little bit of background about the organization and what you do.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah, so our foundation was founded back on October 11th, 2009, when our daughter Ashley was killed by a drunk driver on I-27 outside Lubbock, Texas. And so Ashley was she lived at home still on a full ride volleyball scholarship, and just an amazing young woman, loved God, and just had this amazing outlook of life, and so whenever we lost her, that just is just tragic, but we forgave the guy that killed her, and unfortunately he's repeated again and is back in prison again, and so that's unfortunate, just because we're we're going to keep doing what we feel that is right in the eyes of God, and just bringing hope and showing grace to those that need it, and leading them to a relationship with Jesus. And so that's what our foundation's all about. We have a grief care ministry that is close to Lorraine and I's heart, and we have addiction prevention that's close to us as well. And then, of course, our Jesus is Enough that was founded by our daughter, our oldest daughter, Cassandra, and son-in-law Micah, that used that platform to gain testimonies for people that have been through something, that Jesus has been there for them. So our ministry is just a community outreach ministry, and we like to do things like this, bring people in like Kevin and Sam that just have an amazing testimony themselves, they're just such a blessing to us that they're coming down here. So to come to our little town in Artesia, we don't get this a whole lot. So we're just grateful that they have agreed to come down here and be a part of this with us.
Well, first off, so sorry for the tragedy that you and your family have gone through, but at the same time, it is so refreshing, or just to see that what you've done with that platform and taken, it's like, hey, and first off, when you said something, about your own personal story there about we forgave him, and that to me, that is one of the hardest things we as human can do. But if you can do it, I think it's truly more for yourself sometimes than it is for the other person, And so I think,
sorry.
And no. First off, thank you for doing what you and your family are doing. This is something that now it's to put a positive spin on it, but at the same time, I'm going to take a stab that it's a constant reminder of your own family as well too. So I imagine this is
Absolutely
good, but also hard for you as well. So we thank you for what you're doing.
Right. So, grief is a journey. Yeah, grief is a journey, and it's full of twists and turns. But every morning you just get up and just face the grief and continue the cycle through grief. Obviously with forgiveness being the number one thing.
Sure.
So,
now, Kevin,
thank you for those words.
Yeah, well, it's not much for my end. Kevin, I don't mean to ignore you. I'm sorry. You're but I did want folks to know his story. So, Kevin, let me ask you, how did you come upon Mark? How did you find out about this organization, and how did you how did you end up here at this event?
Well, I think Mark just reached out to my speaker. I have a speaker agent, that finds me a lot of places to go and speak, and hopefully they want to hear my testimony as well. And I do a lot of pro-life speaking events. I do Christian education. I do motivational. I do a variety of things. And,
sure.
To have something like this, it happened to Mark and his family. Everybody's got a story. They really do. And they were able to take their story, something that was as horrible as this, and at least turn it into something positive, turn it into something that brings, far greater awareness to other people, that there are people out there like Mark and his wife that fight back and say, hey, this is the road that we were given, and this is the road that we have found a way to find a positive and more, empathetic path to really let people know that there are people out there that care about you, people out there that are going to be there and help you whenever that is needed. So it's amazing what they've done, and it's amazing to be part of this.
Absolutely. And it's something that I always believe in this is as a person of faith, and that's and this is where life's going to hand tragedies. We're all going to be dealing with tragedies. Life is not easy. If life was easy, then we'd all be, we wouldn't need God. It was, it's that the faith is where, and that's where. Like I know with your family and Kevin, your experiences, the faith is, y'all wouldn't be where you're at without it, and that's and I know, and so that's where I think weekends like this, where you're going to whack the ball around and have some fun, but the message and the stories and the conversations that are going to be had during that weekend, that's going to be the real healing, the real message, the real point of the weekend, I think.
Well, no question. Look, God and Jesus never promised any of us, an easy life.
Yeah.
They said you're going to have hardships just like Jesus did. So God's not there to prevent bad things from happening, but he's certainly there to help you get through them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Amen. Yeah, that's right.
Kevin, I kind of want to ask you a few career questions, if you don't mind, about but
sure.
Just with because like you said, you speak and you talk to folks and things, and I know in a lot of conversations, you talk about your career and how you make movies and things that you want your children to be proud of. So I'm kind of curious, like, as you started in your career versus where you're at today, how is like your just journey of growing and evolving as a human made that process change from, like, say, like when you're obviously when you start acting, you're trying to get a job, you don't care, you're pretty willing, but as you get you get better in your craft, you get more well known, you build up the resume, you get to kind of choose your directions and things. So I'm kind of curious what how was that like, and how much did your life evolving just picking what you pick and choose to do, and what how you what things you choose to act in and all that. I'm just curious how that process works for you.
Well, I mean, obviously, a show like Hercules becoming as huge as it did in 176 countries around the world. We actually became the most watched TV show in the world by season 3. That opened a lot of doors for me. And I got to say, I noticed pretty quickly, so though a mythological show, Hercules had a lot of good moral values in it. And I think today, they probably wouldn't write it that way.
Sure.
But back in the 90s, they did write it that way.
Sure.
But it was really 2010 for me was sort of a pivotal point in terms of the movies that I wanted to do when I did a movie with Dallas Jenkins. Dallas Jenkins, of course, is now doing The Chosen, which is just doing gangbusters around the world. But he brought me my first really unapologetically faith-based movie called What If? And after finishing that movie, I just realized this is the kind of movies I'm going to keep doing. And What If? I've done over 90 movies, and I got What If in my top 3 favorite movies of all time.
Sure.
And ironically, I was just in Dallas last week, where Dallas lives and where they filmed The Chosen. He and myself and John Ratzenberger and Chrissy Swanson are in that movie. We've had such a resurgence of people streaming What If or getting the DVD that the studio decided to reissue it in the theaters this August. So we went to the studios there at TBN outside of Fort Worth.
Sure.
And do a bunch of sort of round table talking about the 15th anniversary of that movie. So that really opened the door for me to say, I'm going to do more movies like this. And I got booted out of Hollywood about 12 years ago. I'm the original cancel culture victim before it became a term. And I'm the first guy to get booted out of Hollywood for being a Christian and a conservative. Which,
sure.
Unfortunately, too many, the gays used to be in the closet in Hollywood. So now the Christian conservatives in the Hollywood, but I'm clearly out of the closet. So I'm fighting the good battle. I feel like I need to wear a T-shirt that says Hollywood loves me on it, but they don't love me. So they hate the things that I'm doing because I do movies that they used to do.
Yeah.
They don't do those anymore.
And the sad part is, like, if you look at like just the history of Hollywood and everything, it's been like that since day one. It's just that's it's just how it is. But but shifting gears on that too a little bit, with technology and with now you can make movies that hit a big stage that don't come out of Hollywood, and I imagine that's got to be a blessing to the career where not only you get to do these movies you want, but you're not having to go through the Hollywood stamp of approval to get it to everybody. Yeah. If that makes sense.
No question. I mean, when my wife and I moved on from Hollywood, we formed Sorbo Studios, so please go to sorbostudios.com. I got 4 new projects coming out this year. I got 3 documentaries coming out this year. So we've been very blessed. I've worked not only through our own studio doing independent films, but the independent market has exploded. And there's so many good projects out there right now from other people that want to do family-driven movies. And you're right, it's really picked up. And with the technology we have, with the camera equipment and everything else, we look just as good as anybody out there. We just tell better stories.
Yeah, and it's changing the game. And then where people go to access movies and see things now, it's good, bad, and different. A lot of people don't walk into a movie theater to see a movie anymore, and that's as a guy that grew up with that, I kind of miss some of that. But at the same time, I do like the fact that I have I can literally sit here right now, get on my phone, and watch any movie in the world almost.
Yeah.
That is a nice thing to have too.
That's definitely that's one of the positive things that come out of COVID. That's definitely a positive thing. But
No question.
not
Absolutely.
many things, but that is definitely one thing.
So let me ask this with the event coming up here April 4th, 5th, and 6th. Again, it's going to be for folks that are just tuning in here. Mark here with My Ashley Foundation is partnered with the Artesia Downtown Lions, and they're going to have a big golf scramble in April. It'll be April 4th, 5th, and 6th there in Artesia. But Friday night, the 4th, they're having a banquet, and they're going to have delicious food and evening of gathering, and Kevin Sorbo is going to be our guest speaker for that evening. Kind of give the flow of the event. What's kind of, how's the schedule going to go? I'm going to guess, Kevin, you're an avid golfer, so are you going to hang around and whack a few balls as well and do what? Kind of talk about how the weekend's going to flow for you guys.
I'll let Mark take that.
Kevin, just go. I go where you point me.
So, hey, whenever when you got Kevin on the phone, you want to make sure that he leads that. Yeah, because so April the 4th, we're going to have a VIP starting at 5:00 at the Country Club here in Artesia.
Okay.
And those are for partners in with the foundation. So if anyone is interested in becoming a partner with our foundation, it's not just not just necessarily just for this golf tournament and this fun. We do a lot of things like Red Zone, and we got a really neat guy coming for Red Zone on the 12th of April. Alec Ingold, he's a fullback for the Miami Dolphins, and he's coming down to share his testimony and speak to our communities. So anyway, so if you want to be a partner, you can go to our website at myashley.org, and obviously that's spelled myashleah.org. And then just click on the link that has the first annual golf tournament. And then you can go in there and pick what partnership you want to be a part of. And then at 6:00, we're going to serve a nice dinner to the people that come, and you can get those tickets. Those are $50 a person. You can get those tickets at the Chamber of Commerce here in Artesia. Or you can go to our website as well and contact us through there. And there is a link there, a QR code that you can click on to be able to access your ticket and RSVP there. And so that'll kick off at 6. You have a nice dinner. And then, of course, entertainment. Have a, like a 20-minute little comedian type thing that's going to be done before kind of get the crowd ready, and then we're going to quickly auction off 4 items, including a chance to play a round of golf with us on Saturday, the next one with Kevin. So
nice.
So if you want to have a chance to play golf with Kevin Sorbo, and then come to the banquet dinner.
Kevin's going to want to know your handicap first, though. I think.
He's gonna
I always say it's my wife, but that's an old Ronnie Danger joke.
Yeah. Well, hey, I hadn't told Kevin yet. He better have some strong shoulders to carry me, because I'm going to need to be carried a little bit on the golf course that day.
That's all good. Well, Mark, I got to interrupt this for a second, because we got my wife Sam speaking as well. She's a homeschool advocate.
That's right.
She travels the country. Like I said, if people go to sorbostudios.com, we share that site together. I got my stuff on one side of it. She's got her stuff, and we got the middle part of it with both of us. So,
cool.
She'll be definitely speaking as well.
Oh, very good.
Well, and I'm glad you said that too, Kevin, because just if you haven't heard her speak before, she's a powerful speaker, and so not only going to get to hear Kevin share, you're going to get to hear Sam share as well, and she's just got an amazing way she brings truth to the listeners, and so we're looking really forward to hearing her speak as well. So,
and also, Mark, Sunday at your church, we're speaking at your church.
Oh,
as well.
Excellent!
Yes, that's right. Yep. Sunday morning at 9:30 at Harvest Fellowship.
Okay.
After the praise and worship is done, Kevin and Sam are going to go up and and it's going to be kind of a campfire type setting. And Pastor Ronnie and Angela are going to spend some time up there, just talking back and forth for people to just kind of hear the dynamics of the Sorbos, and they're, and I'm sure they're going to speak about their beautiful, amazing children and all the things that they're doing, and just it's going to be an amazing time. This weekend, or that weekend, is going to be a very, very neat time for our community. So don't miss it. Get your tickets. Come out and play golf. Now, let me say this too, Mike, is that so to keep this intimate. Now we can fit over 400. I'm told over 400 whatever people in there.
Sure.
But we're going to keep it at 300. We want it to be an intimate crowd.
Sure.
So
don't want to rush people.
Don't wait like typically. Yeah, don't wait like a lot of people do in this community till the last minute to go get your tickets, because I've got to hand in the number by the 1st of April, so we have the proper amount of food. So get your tickets early, because we're going to shut those things off April 1st.
Very good.
Don't wait.
And for the golf enthusiast, it is a shotgun start at 9 a.m. It's a 3-man scramble.
Yep.
$50 per person.
Yep.
Plus your green and cart fees and everything else. They're gonna. I guess you can win a Bronco Sport on one of the holes. There is what I'm thinking.
Yep. You're on number 7. If you hit a hole in one, you'll win a Bronco Sport.
Nice.
That was donated to us by actually one of our partners within the foundation, and so that's a neat deal. So if you want to play golf, call the pro shop here in Artesia.
Excellent.
And speak to Juan or any of the people there and get your team in. We kept the price low, $50 a person. That's hard to find anywhere.
Sure. Usually I've seen 3 times that.
And so this is about outreach. This is about community. God resources it. So we're not worried about that. So come out and be a part of this with us and have some fun with it.
Absolutely. And I imagine too, if you call the pro shop and you want to sign up as an individual, they can pair teams together and stuff. So if you don't have 2 other people to golf with you, then they'll find 2 for you. It's no problem.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do that. Yeah.
Good deal. And of course, if you want to be a sponsor, please go out to the website and sign up for any of those, because like you said, all this money is going to the My Ashley Foundation and going to keep the projects and the things you're going to help the ministry, to help people, and to really, especially folks dealing with tragedy like yourself, that your family have gone through, that we can help people, go through and get to the other side and become better people. That's what this organization is about. And so by you coming out and enjoying a great evening with Kevin and eating delicious food and coming and playing some golf, you're really making a difference in people's lives. So come have some fun and make a difference.
And also, Mike, I want to make sure I mention, I think I did, that the Downtown Lions Club are the ones that partnered with us. They're amazing people. We love them, and we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the Lions, as far as the golf part of it and things. So I just want to make sure that people know that those guys are a big part of us.
Yeah, they have servers' hearts as well.
Yes, they do.
Kevin, I was kind of curious. You were talking about your wife and her and the thing she does. Do you guys get because I would think as an actor you travel a lot and you probably get a lot of time where you're not near your family, but with your situation, do you get to spend do you get to travel with the family and work with the family? Like, is that something you guys get to do, or is there a lot of time away from each other?
Well, when we homeschooled, the kids are now 23, 21, and 19, but when we homeschooled, they would travel with me. Because I still shoot about 3 or 4 movies a year, so I'd be on location anywhere from 3 weeks to 5 weeks. So they would travel with all the time. So with homeschooling, obviously, you can travel anywhere.
Sure.
But now it's a little bit older, it's like, Dad, I'm cool. I'm going to hang out with my friends.
Right.
At that age,
they want to be less with the parents. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and but both my boys are acting. My one son, Braden's done like 10 movies by now. My son, Shane, has done about 5 movies, but he's also been modeling. He spent the summer in Europe, and now he's heading down to Mexico City to work down there.
Nice.
So
you think they're going to outdo?
Yes.
You think they're going to outdo Dad in the acting world? Like as far as skill set?
Well, they're
think they
already
got the
way
skills?
ahead of me at that age. At that age, I was just doing commercials. They're making movies already. So.
All right. Well, then I got the question.
But we do travel.
Oh, well, good. That's good. But I'm glad because that's one thing that you always hear sometimes with Hollywood and just any job like that in general. It's like, I'm gone away months from the family and stuff, and that can be problems for folks. I was just curious how you navigated that. So, very cool.
We make them no more than 2 weeks apart at all if we do that at all.
Good deal. So now we already know who's got the better golf skills, yourself or your kids.
Oh, I do by far.
Because I'll crush them on the course.
They don't have the bug like I do for it, But I grew up football, basketball, baseball. But my dad was a school teacher in summers. 5 kids. He's got to work another job in the summers. So
sure.
He got a job at a golf course. So at a young age, I would just go out there and whack the ball around. And of course, all my football and basketball buddies made fun of me for playing golf. By the way, they all play the game now.
I was about to say, I was like, they're probably all now avid golfers.
They all do. But it's a very addictive game. My oldest son wears a T-shirt that says, "If you don't golf, don't start."
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I tell people about radio. It sounds like fun. I'm like, yeah. Good deal. So, Kevin, what are you working on now? I was looking at the IMDb. You've always got 4 or 5 projects. It seems to be going. What's coming up for you? What can people look for next from Kevin Sorbo?
Well, I got a movie in India that I'll be shooting. It's more of an action adventure one, so it's harking back to my Hercules days. It's kind of a Pirates of the Caribbean type movie. We're shooting
cool.
on a couple islands in the Indian Ocean there, and then I've got 3 documentaries coming out that I'm very excited for. I still have some narration doing one, but one is definitely coming out Easter week. It's going to be released, and it deals with the Last Supper, and it's called Eating with the Enemy. I think people find it very interesting. It's sort of a follow-up to one I did a couple years ago with the same company called Ingenuity Films. It's owned by Brent Miller, is the CEO of the company. They do amazing faith documentaries. We had one that came out a couple years ago dealing with the Second Coming called Before the Wrath, and it became the #1 documentary on Amazon for 5 months.
Wow.
So got another one coming out. I spent 3 weeks in Israel just before the war broke out. Through archaeological digs, we traced the flow of the Ark of the Covenant. So I was the real Indiana Jones.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. And it's called The Quest for the Throne of God. We have so much footage now, they're contemplating making it a 4-part miniseries.
Wow. And you know what? It's cool that, that you've got so much going on here, but I think it's also that you get the unique experience of going to places and seeing people everyone sees everything on social media or on the news, and you get your opinions one way or another about things. But until you set foot in a place and talk to the people and see firsthand, it's not what you see on social media and live experience. People are people, man, and you'll find out as you hang out with more of them, they're more like you than you realize. And so, do you get when you get to Israel? Do you get to or is it just because I know with work and budgets and money and everything's like you're here, but do you get time to go out and about, so to speak?
Oh yeah, I mean we shoot these documentaries. We're there to discover the land.
Gotcha.
I've been to
Okay.
Israel about
So it's
6
part of the
times
work.
now.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just very fortunate. I mean, look, when I got Hercules, I lived in New Zealand 7 years. When I finished college, I went to Europe to spend 3 months. I stayed for 3.5 years. I signed with agencies in Milan and Paris and all over, did commercial work and things like that. So I really learned. It made me grow up. Here I was in my early 20s, and it really made me grow up. And it was a very fascinating journey, and that sort of set the seed for me to want to travel. And by the way, I do got to bring out, my wife and I normally take a group to Israel every year. And last year, of course, the war broke out, and this year people are still nervous to go there, even though it's pretty safe to go there now. But instead of following the footsteps of Jesus, my wife and I are hosting an event in Greece, and it's walking the footsteps of Paul. So we're going to spend 12 days in Greece, and we have some openings there. So for people listening right now, you want to come on a little cruise, or that's a little trip. It's not a cruise. I think it was one day we get in a boat to go to an island outside of Greece. But it's going to be an amazing trip. If you go to sorbostudios.com, you can look for events on there, and you get every information. There's like a 12-page sort of pitch deck that tells you all the places we're going to go. And the last 2 days that we added on, we're going to go to we're going to Mount Olympus because Hercules, after all, we might as well see Mount Olympus over there.
Since you're there
and
all.
then on the last day, on the last day, we're going to go to the site where the Battle of the movie 300 actually took place.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it was the 300 Spartans taking on the 10,000 Muslims, and back in what was it, centuries ago. So I hope
Nice.
people want to come along and get a little history and learn a little bit more about the Apostle Paul.
Yeah, sounds like an amazing trip. So go to and that's sorbostudios.com, you said?
Yes, sir. SorboStudios.com.
Very good. And
Mike, I'll send you that link, Mike, to the actual page there, and that way you
okay,
can
excellent.
share that
And
if
then we
you
can
want
put it up on
Facebook
our social medias and all that in the video when they share all this stuff later.
Yeah, I think Mark might be joining us.
Yes, I think it sounds like
exactly
an amazing
what we're
trip.
looking for.
I think it does too. But I just saw the time. We probably better wrap this up. But in the meantime, before we're going to overseas here, we'd love for you to join us here in Artesia, April 4th, 5th, and 6th for the Artesia Downtown Lions Club and My Ashley Foundation Golf Tournament. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, April 4th, 5th, and 6th. We'll kick things off Friday night with the banquet. Kevin will be our guest speaker for that evening, and we'll have a great night there. And then 2 days of golf. And,
Along with Sam.
Yes.
Yeah.
To Sam too. I forgot. Yeah. I don't want to leave anybody out.
Don't forget. Yeah.
So bring your funny bone, because you're gonna need that too. So and then come ready to have fun, and come really. By coming out and eating copious amounts of food, having fun, and golfing, you are making a difference in people's lives. So we're asking you to help people, but it's really not a lot of work. So
Absolutely.
I will leave the.
We're gonna have some neat. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mike. I too just want everybody to know we're gonna have some really neat items for our silent auction, and so a couple of those items are. I said from Christian McCaffey, we got his last night, a pair of his gloves
nice.
that he wore, and a jersey, and CJ Stroud from the Texans are sending some stuff too. So
he's a good dude.
And of course, Kevin's going to have some stuff there as well that we got.
Well,
so
let me know if you
come out and. Yep.
I'm a boy that grew up in Maryland, D.C. area, so I am a lifelong Washington fan. Redskins, now Commanders fan. So
okay.
If a Jaden Daniels thing just so happens to pop across your radar there.
Oh man, yeah. He's definitely someone that Well, I think Christian's going to be here for our 2026 Red Zone, so we'll hopefully that all works out.
Absolutely, too. But Kevin, is there anything you wanted to mention or anything that we didn't get a chance to talk about that you wanted to make sure we got out there?
No, I think we covered it all. I'm just looking forward to people showing up, and I think we're going to have a great time, and I think we have some great messages to share with people as well.
Absolutely. Mark, is there anything we didn't cover that you wanted to make sure we covered?
No, we just appreciate you having us on and allowing us to share our lives, and we're looking forward to meeting people April 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Excellent. Well, Mark, thank you for doing what you're doing and creating this foundation with your family and doing the work that you do. Kevin, thank you for the work you're doing as well too, and joining us here today. But it's greatly appreciated and one at a time kind of thing. That's Christianity at work. Or one at a time. You just try to get people to help and see the light, and events like this are very much a part of that. So thank you both for doing what you do, and thank you for spending time with us, and hope to maybe who knows, maybe have you in studio one day.
Perfect. Love it.
All right. Well, thank you guys,
Thanks.
and take care, and God bless.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
See you. All right.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. Thank you.
You got it. Bye-bye.
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 All right, that was Kevin Sorbo and Mark Richards with My Ashley Foundation. Come on out. So if you want to golf, come out, and like I said, Kevin's going to be out there golfing too, and come meet and be a great night of speaking. And of course, if you're not familiar with if you haven't heard of or seen Kevin since Hercules, he's been pretty busy. He gets like I said, he is in the conservative Christian kind of world now, and that's where his movies and where he goes. And so if you'd like to come out and be a part of it, I think it'd be a good time. All right. It is 9:48. Let's pause for news, Hannity update, sports. We'll get some weather and all that good in there, too. And then we'll wrap up the show. Don't go away.
The massive $430 million project will eventually rebuild the highway from the Texas border to New Mexico Highway 31. The project is expected to take more than 2 years to complete. The intersections are divided into priority items by the NMDOT. The first part of the project to improve Highway 18 and Highway 128 in Jal is expected to begin this summer. There are new details in the case of a missing person who was found dead at the village of Carlsbad Apartments on National Parks Highway. The victim is identified as 31-year-old Jaden Kennedy, who had been reported missing on February 24th. Carlsbad police have not said whether they believe Kennedy's death was a homicide. Kennedy had recently moved to Carlsbad from Texas, but it's not clear how long she had been in our area. Anyone with information is urged to contact Carlsbad police. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still a little breezy, but not nearly as windy today. Few gusts around 25 miles an hour. Lots of sunshine, and we'll be in the upper 60s. For the overnight hours, a few clouds drifting through, upper 30s to low 40s. It will get a little bit more windy on Thursday with another storm system coming through. Clouds were in the upper 70s, wind gusting to 50 miles an hour. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Springtime is coming quickly, and that means it's time for the spring open house for high school students and their parents at Eastern New Mexico University. Join us Saturday, March 22nd, as we welcome potential students and their family members to campus. ENMU will feature campus tours, opportunities to meet with current students and professors, information on scholarships, and chances to win great prizes. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
As part of the ongoing effort to keep the roads of New Mexico safe.
Parts of the state, parts of Oklahoma and Texas also took a pounding, suffering a lot of property damage. Blinding dust storms in the southwest, blizzards with whiteout conditions in the Midwest, and all of that unsettled weather now moving to the east. On Wall Street this morning, stocks at the moment are mixed. The Dow is trading about 60 points higher, while the NASDAQ Composite Index 13 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts standing by 7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
On electric vehicles, there's fierce competition from China, but also the US. European manufacturers are hampered by high costs for converting plants and high wage bills. Then there are potential tariff wars looming, both with the US and China. EU Commissioner Séjourné calls it a pivotal moment. The Commission is proposing protectionist measures, including a law that will stipulate that electric sold in the EU must use a certain amount of European components.
The BBC's Danny Aberhart. Russian President Putin is holding talks with the head of Myanmar's military government, who seeks to cement ties with Moscow while facing isolation from the West. Western nations have imposed sanctions in response to the violent repression of any opposition, which has led to the deaths of thousands of civilians since the civilian government was toppled by the military. News and analysis at townhall.com. There's an investigation underway at one suburban New York middle school.
Police are looking into how a student got hold of marijuana gummies and gave them to about a dozen classmates. 11 ended up going to hospitals. It happened at William Floyd Middle School in Righteous, a Long Island community. Suffolk County Police say the sickened students were 13 and 14-year-olds. It's not immediately clear whether the student who handed them out knew what they contained. There have been similar incidents at other U.S. schools in recent years. John Scott reporting.
A towering fountain of lava is spewing from a volcano on Hawaii's Big Island again. Webcam video shows surging streams of bright red molten rock in the latest episode of an on and off eruption. The eruption began back on December 23rd in a crater at the summit of Kilauea in Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome. That was a more calmer welcome. To hour number 3.
Trace and Viernos.
Yeah, I come out the gate this morning. I was like, welcome. I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? Welcome.
Welcome to Wednesday Morning Mike.
It came hard in the paint this morning. But happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yes.
Hope everybody's doing well. Weather is a bit of a respite today in between the winds.
Yeah, I feel safe with having a hairstyle today. It's been a rough couple of days.
Maybe you should go with the copious amounts of hair product and just slick it straight back.
I feel like if I apply too much, I've done this before, and if I apply too much, it goes either looking like I'm like a 30, or the other way is newscaster hair, which I really got to be careful with.
Most people are envious of newscaster hair.
I'm not.
Most people are like, I can be a news. I have good hair.
Because it looks like it was placed there by hair and makeup.
I always get the outfits, particularly for women.
Yeah.
Like men, they just wear a suit or whatever. It's what they wear. But like I noticed like and I think it's all for camera and how the green screen works on cameras and all that. But they always have a certain type of dress that ladies. I mean, it could be different colors.
It's like a blazer dress.
It's different colors, different patterns, but they all seem to be made of the same material and stuff. And I guess it just vibes with that green screen better.
Yeah,
makes them look better on camera or something. I don't know, but it doesn't look like clothes you wear like to go out and about, or even even like not dress up, but just, hey, I'm going out to dinner with the family. I'm gonna put on some public clothes. It doesn't look like those either. You know?
If I Google lady newscaster dress,
if that's a whole category, maybe. I feel like they're all kind of, pardon the pun, but cut from the same cloth, so to speak.
And it's very similar. It's lower neckline, but not so low.
Oh yeah, I mean the cuts and everything, but I mean just the materials and the colors and the styles. It feels like it's like some kind of, hey, with the cameras and the green screens,
and it depends too.
These are what work.
Sometimes they have blue screens. Sometimes they have different colors that they have to chroma key out or whatever.
Yeah.
And so there's those issues. But then it's funny because Lady Newscaster does have a specific look. Lady Weathercaster also has a very specific look.
That's true.
Lady Weathercaster is like fun in the sun, top button down, just like maybe like a hat.
And it's funny. I mean, life's evolved and changed, and things that people's thoughts on things in earlier times versus thoughts on things are way different. But certain things never change.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. They always got to have the hot news people. Whether it's guys, gals, doesn't matter. They all look like they just stepped out of the gym in the tanning booth and look like they.
You look perfect. Right, Did you ever see? And it popped up like a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like went away, maybe like a decade ago. Naked News.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was for like a weird time. There was this.
I think it's still out there. I think
probably is.
You go look for it. I think it's still a network or whatever.
It's just straightforward news. Like they don't break. They're not like. They just read a teleprompter while they get undressed.
Yeah.
That's
the whole thing.
Very weird. It's like when you're
Has anybody ever commented on the politics? Do they lean left, right, or are they pretty dead center?
They lean slightly to the left.
All right. I was wondering.
I hear there's a medication for that though. But no, it just what was always funny to me is just the straight face of the newscaster. I think it's maybe even in like another country, like Venezuela.
Oh yeah, it's not American. I feel like it's Eastern European.
But she just
maybe Asian,
like, staring at the camera. Increased tariffs have been applied today, 30%, and just like literally just reading the news while undoing her tie.
Yeah, and I think it's evolved. Like I think or there's more of it. I think like the OG one, I think was like Eastern European, but I think there's been either evolutions of the show or amalgamations of the show.
So it's like the Idol concept. You can take it to any country, really.
So I think now you'll find it in many locations.
Well, here's where we incriminate Sean's phone even more. We're just going to go ahead and Google naked news.
Yeah. While you're doing that, let me give you the rundown for this hour of the
naked
show.
News.
So here we're going to get you up to date with the weather. We will have our interview we played yesterday with Doug Weiser joined us from the Walker Aviation Museum, so we'll play that interview for you here in just a bit.
Well,
we will have the news. It will be clothed variety, and then whatever else we can come up with.
We're just going to back right on out of that page.
It is radio, so I'm assuming our newscasters were closed.
Right.
I don't know. I don't see them.
Well, yeah. Jared Cirillo, generally speaking, he's wearing clothes. They're not his. They're
in my head. I feel like he's Donald Duck in it.
Yeah, I was going to say he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt and an oven mitt, but yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like he's Donald Duck.
We'll go with loincloth. He's got the bits covered.
I don't know. I think it's straight on top, and that's it. Maybe some shoes.
Steve, with our weather, on the other hand, I like to imagine my Steve as a bastion of light. There's a voice out of nowhere, a disembodied voice.
Well, and he's got the dulcet tone, so I think he's a little more swarthy. Like I feel like a lot of Paisley.
Not for nothing. I'll bet he does one of these before he goes on. Hello.
Yes.
1 2 1 2.
Yeah. You know what? He's got sweater vests.
He's got sweater vest energy. You're giving up, sir. You giving off SVE.
He's a sweater vest guy.
Sweater vest
in my
energy.
head. I know we're way off on all this, but in my head, that's what. They're in their places and wherever they are, but and so we just hear them every day. But,
But yeah, I think I'm going to start trying to work that into my vernacular. Sweater vest. You, sir, you give off sweater vest energy.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't know how to roll with that one. I guess depends on the room.
Right. Now, if you're speaking to a council of librarians, SVE would be something that is strived for.
But you'd say you're at a I don't know, like a pot fest. maybe sweater vest is not the compliment one would just take.
If you're amongst a group of, say, learned doctor, or let's say learned educators, would you say you're giving off leather patch energy for like their leather patch on their jackets?
Maybe.
Yeah. Elbow patch energy.
Well, you got to be careful with the leather
patch. Yeah, because you're talking to a biker.
Well, and because I watch Sons of Anarchy, so I'm an expert now. So that being said,
I'm a learned doctor. I have my doctorate in anarchy.
I know things because I watch TV. But like apparently, I don't know, but apparently, like there's a whole thing. Like if it's like a 3-patch thing, that's more of a 1%er versus a single patch. And there's a whole rules and things on all.
You patch in, and then you have to earn your top and bottom.
Yeah, there's a whole hierarchy on all that stuff, and if you don't know, you might just sit on the sidelines for that one.
It is entertaining when you go to one of those parties and you see the ones who are like the lower rank and they're trying to trying to patch in. And
I believe they call them hanger-ons or prospects, depending on.
Prospects, I think.
Prospect. There's the hanger-ons, the low level.
Yeah,
and then they get promoted to prospect, according to Sons of Anarchy, which has got to be accurate 1,000%.
What's funny, and I got to be careful saying this, but cause I want to get chained into the kneecaps in the streets or something. But they walk around like the hanger-ons or whatever. They're like waiters. They'll check in on you, make sure your drink's good. See how you're doing. It's a really cool atmosphere.
Well, they're hoping to be the guy at the bar making all the decisions for the next heist.
/ poker run.
Again, Sons of Anarchy. That's where I got all my stuff.
See, that's what's so funny is the juxtaposition of biker gangs. Right. Because you watch Sons of Anarchy and they're up to no good. Right. But then our biker gangs are like, holding cancer.
And this is where I think you get into club versus gang world. Like it's a club, jerk. We're not a gang. You know what I mean? And then there's the one, because most of them are just. And again, I'm not trying to stereotype, but this is typically what it is. Most of them just retired veterans looking to hang out with their boys. That's and we all like riding bikes. And that's really how it all started. The whole from Hell's Angels on down. That's again, I watched some movies. I learned stuff.
A dissertation.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it all goes to be. But then you're like, hey, then it becomes the life, and that's where it goes into the 1%er stuff. So anyway. Next week, I'll tell you another thing I learned on TV.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Next week, we're going to talk about pancreatic surgery.
That's right. I saw a YouTube clip. We're gonna nail this.
I was trying to come up with remember the name of a disease earlier, and I said it's the thing that Steve Jobs had. Roy goes, pancreatitis. Like, no, diverticulitis. The other one.
I like he had cancer. That's all. I just lump it in with cancer, and I thought his was colon.
That was the diverticulitis thing.
Okay, yeah.
Which Ashton Kutcher, when he was playing Steve Jobs, actually was like method and switched to his diet, and he actually ended up getting diverticulitis from that.
Oh yeah, I mean
that portrayal.
Literally, Steve Jobs should not have died. He died of his own stubbornness and lack of accepting of modern science.
Right. Which is very ironic.
Right?
Steve Jobs.
The guy who created the iPhone refused to believe in science.
Indeed, he did think differently, turns out.
And that's why life's one big irony thing, The guy who created cereal was a wackadoo. Kellogg guy. See his farm, his thing, All right, 9:17. Before I solve more problems and tell you about everything, let's just do the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still a little breezy, but not nearly as windy today. Few gusts around 25 miles an hour. Lots of sunshine, and we'll be in the upper 60s. For the overnight hours, a few clouds drifting through, upper 30s to low 40s. It will get a little bit more windy on Thursday with another storm system coming through. Mix of sun and clouds. We're in the upper 70s, wind gusting to 50 miles an hour. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 46 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 44%. Winds currently out of the south at 15 miles per hour. We are looking at a bit of a calm between the storms here as we were dealing with the winds yesterday. We will be dealing with the winds again tomorrow, but today, not as bad. Sunny. Highs near 70 today, 69 degrees officially with south winds 5 to 10 this morning. They will pick up 10 to 15 this afternoon. Cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 40. Winds will be out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow they've already issued a fire weather watch for tomorrow, kicking in at 10 a.m. through 7 p.m. this evening. I imagine those will get escalated to the red flags, warnings, and all the things that normally happens when the wind picks up. Because tomorrow we will be looking at widespread blowing dust. Sweet spot for that between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. tomorrow. Mostly cloudy with a high of 78 tomorrow, so it is going to be warm. Winds will be out of the south, 10 to 20 early, increasing 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, we're looking at partly cloudy skies and an overnight low of 43. Winds will continue out of the southwest, 25 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour, dropping down 15 to 20 after midnight. Friday, sunny skies, breezy, high of 71 with west winds 15 to 25 miles per hour. There's a 30% chance of rain Friday night, mainly after 11, so late. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 46. And then Saturday, big change in the weather. We're looking at a 20% chance at some rain and snow showers before 11. Then rain chances continue after that. Mostly cloudy for the day, gradually clearing, but a high of 46 tomorrow or on Saturday. So, and then we're looking at a 60% chance. I'm sorry, I was doing the nighttime. It drops down to 20. 60% chance of rain and snow Saturday, and then rain after 11. 20% Saturday night, starting as a rain-snow mix there before 11. Then it gradually rolling out overnight with an overnight low of 28. And then Sunday, it gets nice, sunny, 62, and then sunny and 71 on Monday when you head back to work and school and all that there. All right, 9:20, let's do this. Let's take a quick 2.5-minute break, then we'll play our interview with Doug Weiser from the Walker Aviation Museum. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Are you ready to succeed? Earn your FFA certification through ENMU Roswell's Aviation Maintenance Technology Program. ENMU Roswell has the only FFA Part 147 airframe and power plant school in Southeast New Mexico. Receive commercial and general aviation training, hands-on training with Operation Aircraft, Boeing commercial experience, advanced composite repair training, and more. And ENMU Roswell offers in-state tuition for veterans too. Learn more about this exciting program on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
Experience the magic of Ireland at the Spencer Theatre for the Performing Arts. On Saturday, March 22nd at 7 p.m., enjoy Emerald Isle, a captivating performance featuring 20 singers and dancers from Ireland, performing traditional tunes and reimagined classics that span the vibrant traditions, mythical stories, and ancient sites of the Emerald Isle. Get your tickets by visiting spencertheatre.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Emerging fund managers and venture capital companies. Streamline your investment strategy with the state of New Mexico's SSBCI program. The SSBCI offers free expert support to help you access opportunities and drive small business growth. We'll help you navigate funding requirements, legal considerations, accounting, and more. Get started today at edd.newmexico.gov. That's edd.newmexico.gov. Sponsored by this station and the NMBA.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio from the Walker Aviation Museum, I guess president would be the proper term.
President of the board.
Yeah, president of the board. Doug Weezer back with us. Morning, Doug.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing good. Hopefully you got a few rocks in your pockets to keep you grounded today.
Oh, God, I do. I do. No day for flying.
Yeah,
and,
no,
or driving.
Driving or just pretty much being outside.
Yeah, we'll skip that.
Yeah.
Dusty, windy.
Yeah, unless you're making your own Dune movie or something.
Yeah.
Then the perfect situation. If you're a filmmaker, get out there and make your movies.
There you go. There you go. Special effects.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But for folks that are not familiar, of course, Doug or Robert, someone from the museum, they join us each and every month. And the Walker Aviation Museum, if you're new to town or, I don't know, just live under a rock or just haven't heard, is a museum that is dedicated to the military base that was here in Roswell, the Roswell Army Airfield, later Walker Air Force Base. And so it really, the history of that, but also really covers the history of our role during the Cold War era with the ICBM missiles, those first generation missiles, things like that. But what I really love about the museum is it, as much as it focuses on the missions and the things that the base did, it equally focuses on the people and the life that was, what it was like at the base there. And that's what the museum's all about, is preserving that history and allowing generations to come and see what was happening here in a pretty important time in America's history.
It was. The Walker Museum just sort of makes a statement about what Walker did and how many pilots were trained before that at the Army Airfield. And the place that, and many people don't remember the Cuban Missile Crisis. We played a big role in that, only because we had... that
was one of the scariest weeks in a lot of people's lives in that time in the 60s.
Yeah, the face down.
I'm going to take a stab publicly. The closest we've ever had to nuclear, to the full nuclear mutual destruction and all that stuff. Basically what the end game was for the Cold War.
Right. And we played a big part in that. We were a SAC base, and we had B-52s. We were one of the few bases that had armed atomic bombs ready to go. And then subsequently, we had the Atlas F missiles. That there were 12 that ostensibly protected the base. But then, more importantly, they were their first of intercontinental missiles that could reach targets overseas.
They were first strike options.
First strike options. Yeah. So we were pretty important during that time.
Absolutely. And basically, kind of with the missile stuff, what happened is technology got better.
Yes.
And so the more modern missiles, they found other homes for.
They did.
Which, thank goodness, because the missiles that were here in Roswell were the very first generation. It's like it's the first of anything.
Yes.
It's like Formula 409. There was 408 other bad ones before they got to 409. The first generation, though functional, was not the really the end product or what you see anything remotely close to that today.
Correct. So. And the one thing you have to understand, the propellant was liquid rather than solid.
Which makes it very volatile.
Very unstable. And the silos were built at a cost. We just got done.
Think of it like NASCAR.
Yes.
In modern NASCAR, they don't just have a gas tank that they're pouring that gas into. They're fuel cells and that they do it into. And so that's kind of like the same style technologies they use it, so it's much safer. It's a little different, but roughly think of it in terms like that. That's what these missiles are.
Yeah.
So.
And so it was very dangerous, but it was dangerous, and before that it was dangerous building the silos. So there were 8 people that lost their lives.
I was going to say, we just had the here a couple weeks ago, the dedication, and all those people lost their lives, had nothing to do with button pushing or any of these were construction workers, people building the silos.
Yeah, the a crane fell in the silos, this and that and the other thing. It was very dangerous to do that. These were, a lot of them were local. When an individual from El Paso that lost his life. Another individual, Sue Kreitz, that came here, I believe, was maybe joined you. I don't know. That paid for the memorial and really believed in what the legacy here in Roswell. Yeah. Roswell's important to her. So
yeah, she kind of did when we had a chance to talk with her back a month or so ago. It was really just it's when people research history, and then they realize that, and that's what it was. Is she's just someone that had an interest, and then basically said, why is there not something dedicated to these folks? Mm-hmm. And she made it her mission to make sure that happened.
She did.
That's what it is.
Yeah, she's the pilot, and she has a very good network in the United States that establish these kind of recognitions for people that served during the Cold War, that maybe didn't have, like you said, weren't the button pushers,
sure,
or the people down in the silos and then constructing them. So,
well, as a guy that was a weapons troop, served ground crew in the military, that's the thing that it is, and certain movies are doing, and certain things are kind of doing it now, but. Like Masters of the Air is one of the more recent things that came out. You watch that, and usually I'm gonna say the glory, because I don't know if that's the right term, but the spotlight is on the pilots, the people, the air crew, the people that are actually facing the flak.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, for every one of those guys, there's 3 of them on the ground that's been up all night turning wrenches, that has been working 24-hour shifts. Making sure that aircraft is ready to go. And now you're starting to see, those people were unsung heroes too, because without them, those missions never fly. And so that's what I think Walker does a real good job of celebrating those folks.
It does. It promotes those STEM careers of ground crews, of aviators, of flight nurses, flight doctors, things like that. I mean, there's over 1,000 careers that have to do with aviation.
Well, if you just take one plane alone, and there's a crew chief on that thing, and he's kind of the mechanical guy. But then there's a person that just deals with avionics and the navigation systems. Then there's a crew that just deals with the weapons and the systems on it, loading it. Then there's a crew that just deals with the fuel and that stuff. Then there's someone that just deals with sheet metal and things. If it's got problems with the fuselage or something, they come in and come in. Oh, and then you got an engine guy, because and he works just on the engines and stuff. Oh, and by the way, then there's a whole nother crew of people that come in after this thing hits X amount of flying hours. They got to tear it down basically and put it back together again to make sure everything's good. And that's a whole nother crew that does that. So yes, there are so many different people that touch and involved with an aircraft, not just one aircraft.
And I think Roswell will get a taste of that during the air races.
Yeah, now I think you're gonna see some of that firsthand here in May, and then of course in September when the first air show hits here.
Yeah, for every pilot, like you say, there's 10 people that take care of things.
Absolutely.
Sometimes more.
Absolutely.
And, privately, it gets a little bit. It's a little expensive, but.
Sure.
It's probably one of the most expensive sports there
I would say air racing isn't for the budget conscious people.
No.
Nor for the faint of heart. It is a high paced sport. Go watch some if you want to see what the Reno Air Races is about. Go do some videos. Just go do on YouTube and type in Reno Air Races, and I guarantee you'll be impressed with the race. It's literally NASCAR in the air. They're flying wingtip to wingtip on a race course, and it is exciting to watch. It is dangerous, a sport.
Yes.
They do have deaths in this sport. It doesn't happen every year, but it's not uncommon either.
Yeah.
So.
And there is some Cold War aircraft that are going to be out there. They race
you'll
them.
see some P-51s and some of those.
I don't know if you see any kind of F-85s and things like that, but
well,
there's a lot of different. There's 7 different groups of aviators. And it's exciting to see a lot of that legacy that of course they don't race bombers,
Right.
But thank God. But
although that'd be a sight.
Yes, it would.
Because I've seen some people hauling in some bombers.
Yes.
They will get up and go if they need to.
So and Walker was known for his bombers.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was. It was.
And he was as a brigadier general.
Yes.
In the pilot's chair, which was a huge frowned upon thing in that time.
Yes.
You're supposed to lead from the rear, not the front.
I don't think Doolittle was supposed to fly that flight to Japan, but
you know, it's funny. I just thought, those Reno Air Races guys. I imagine for them to fly like P-51s. I imagine for car guys, it's kind of like owning a '67 Corvette or something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's kind of what I think. It's like in the same. It's.
You might want to dress that with them. See if it is.
I'm going to ask him. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going to have this Friday. I think I'm going to have Fred on. I think he's going to join us on the show here. I need to ask him about that because I was just on. I was like, I imagine this is like car guys, but they kind of. Oh yeah, look at this. That's a P-51. What is that? A D block? What is that?
Yeah, and they probably drive their Corvette to the airfield.
But I imagine. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they probably don't have Corvettes because they sink all their money in the plane.
Yeah.
So they probably drive in just a beater truck with a camper on it, and they got millions of dollars sunk in that airplane sitting out there. But as far as the museum itself,
it's the city is working diligently on helping us with the
so
flood.
we're getting closer to getting that
we're still
cleaned
close.
Up? Okay.
I'll be back on April Fool's Day. Hopefully,
all right.
good Lord willing.
Is that the Tuesday the 1st? All right.
That's Tuesday the 1st.
All right. And, hopefully we'll have no jokes.
I don't know. Do you do remotes? I mean, we can open the museum in style. We'll be.
But is that kind of around the date they anticipate?
Oh, we're breathing hard. Let's put it that way.
We'll cross fingers and do our whatever mojo thing or whatever.
City's working on it. Bobby's working on it, and we're looking forward to getting that open within the next couple of weeks.
Just curious, as far as the artifacts, the things at the museum, all that's fine, right? It was just the building itself got kind of messed up.
Yeah, the flight simulators, all that kind of thing. We were very, very fortunate. Not too much damage.
Okay. There's a lot of electronics there, and I'm guessing they probably sat in standing water.
And there's so many people. I mean, we're all volunteers.
Mm-hmm. Could use more of, by the way.
Yes. We have spots on the board. We have spots when we reopen to basically staff the museum. That requires board members. It requires people like like Bob Donnell.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned Robert Sherman.
Yeah,
I mean,
Robert.
these guys are. Then you got Allie Bishop.
There would be no museum without these folks.
No,
it would have gone the way of the dodo.
And a great support. List is long,
and this is why we'd love to see more volunteers. Whether it's to serve on the board or serve as docents.
Yes,
or just saying, hey, I'd like to help out wherever. You need me wherever you need me to help. Clean up stuff or archive stuff or do that kind of thing. I can do that. Whatever. There's always a role somewhere.
Yes.
Or serving on the board. There's people. Juliana does a lot of the computers
Juliana's
and all
another
that
one.
stuff.
Yeah, she's definitely whoa.
And but maybe you want to offer legal services or offer whatever your business and say, hey, I can serve on their board and help from that capacity. All of it would be very beneficial.
Yeah. And if you feel like contributing, I mean, you can call me personally, 575-420-0067.
Bucks is another way to help out. Because like we said, the museum has not been open, and it does rely on people leaving donations and things. That's a big part of memberships and all that is part of this too. So if you go to the museum's website, wafbmuseum.org, there you can access, like if you want to show your kid all about STEM jobs and all that kind of stuff, all of that's there at the website. But there is a Donate Now button that you can also click and make a contribution.
Yes.
And that would greatly help because, like we said, the museum's been shut down for a couple months now.
Yes.
Income has not been flowing in. And expenses have been increasing.
So we're ready to gear up,
and so we're ready to open back up and be here. We got a busy season coming up with the air show. We're gonna have a pre a dress rehearsal for the air show in May here.
Yes.
And so we would definitely want the museum to be open, and there's going to be a lot of people in town that might want to check it out.
You've got all the pilots coming in to be certified here in March. And a lot of things happening from now until the big show in September. And we're looking forward to be part of it. And,
you're going to put your party dress on for that one.
Yes,
it'll be front and center for that. So
you know.
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Who knows? And that's what I love too, is I feel like this is a great partnership opportunity, because what the museum does and what the air races, there's a lot of common ground there.
It is. There's a lot of
and I
joint
can
things
see
there.
a lot of cool opportunities in the future. A lot of good things for the museum, and a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, it one thing that I really like is, because of this, we get an air show back. You know what I mean? We get and this one's going to be a lot bigger than the ones we could put together.
Definitely.
You know, they get the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds, but they're not always the highlight of the show. Is what I mean.
No,
where they're the highlight of everybody else's show. They're kind of like, well, they kind of take second banana at this one.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for Roswell.
Absolutely.
And, a lot of these hidden gems in Roswell, like the museum. I don't know. We talked about Museum Day last time.
We'll be doing that again here
my gosh.
when that time comes back up. But now's the time. Volunteers, people get involved as we get ready for this kind of next phase in Roswell's chapter here. The museum really needs support, needs volunteers, needs money, needs all the above to get to get ready and let's make the most of this. And that's what it's about. And what I'm seeing is what this is now setting the table where, yes, Roswell's looked at as aliens, and I'm not going to say it's never not going to be looked at, first thing out of people's mouths when they think of Roswell's aliens. But they're equally going to be like, oh, yeah, and they're all the flying, and they do a lot of airplane stuff. And they
do.
Always do. But now with bringing Reno and some of the things that are going on, it's kind of getting a bigger spotlight put on it. And so this is all good stuff.
Yeah,
so.
National Air Races will be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to double the size of the population here in Roswell during that time.
Well, this is the blessing that is Walker Air Force Base. Because of that Air Force Base and the types of runways and the missions that it serves, it's made that land so useful, and so it creates so many opportunities. And so we kind of look at it now as the blessing that keeps on giving, even though we thought when they shuttered this bad boy into the 60s there, we thought, man, there goes Roswell, and here we are. Here we are, and we weathered the storm, and like a phoenix, that area is kind of rebirthed into a mecca for business, commerce, and now entertainment.
80 acres. It's phenomenal what they're doing out there to bring the grandstand. 10,000.
Yeah, they just broke ground here last week.
Yeah, it's exciting to hear that they plan concerts. It's an off-season venue. Which is great.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big deal.
I think Roswell really understands what
and I've heard
what's going to happen.
I don't think all the plans have gone public, but I'm hearing there's more things that are on tap as part of this too. So, just get excited, folks. This is really and this is what I'm saying. You kind of got a chance to get in on the ground floor through the Walker Aviation Museum. Come in, be a volunteer. You can kind of, and I'm going to take a stab when time comes around for these air shows and all that. The museum's going to be highly involved, and as a volunteer, you get to do things and be a part of things, and that maybe others don't get to be a part of.
Correct.
So.
You get to see a lot of different things behind the scenes.
So I'm trying to, just say, hey, this might be kind of cool if you play your cards right.
Definitely.
So reach out. Go to the website, wafbmuseum.org. There they've got contacts. You can shoot me email or anything else like that. I invite you to like and follow the museum's Facebook page as well.
Yes.
Just search Walker Air Force Base Museum. It should be the first thing that pops up. And then you can like and follow it. And then you can see a lot of Juliana's hard work there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. God bless her.
Absolutely. And when it does open up again, please, we'd love to, folks, if you haven't been in it, come see it for yourself. Come see the great treasures that are in your own backyard. And this is the one thing I'm really excited for too is as we get to the summer months here, it's kind of reunion season a little bit for
It is.
Walker folks.
It is.
A lot of families and things take their vacations, and they'll pass through Roswell because they had family that served, or they themselves were here as kids or something like that, and they kind of want to check it out and see. And a lot of times they come with stories, memories, artifacts sometimes
yes, they do.
from
They
their
bring-
time at Walker. And that is the coolest part about Walker Aviation Museum. Like the museum and all that stuff's cool, but those days when someone walks in, my dad was on the baseball team here. My dad worked he was a fuel guy out here or whatever. Yeah. Love all that. Oh man, yeah, we lived here. I was a kid, and yeah, I lived right out the base there, down over here. Yeah, you get those stories all the time.
Yeah,
and that's what's the cool part about the museum.
You meet second and third generation pilots that fly in here that are ferrying aircraft to somewhere else, different parts of the world. Their father or grandfather was based here, and it's interesting to hear their story when you run into them. And it's very intriguing that people still remember Walker, and it's part of where Roswell was. And I always say you gotta know where you've been before you know where you're going.
Without Walker and without this base and without this this community, we would not have won World War II.
No,
telling you right now,
sure.
We were very much, this community was very much vital to the success of World War II.
Yeah.
Through everything that was going on.
Produced thousands of pilots and support personnel.
Yeah. If you were sitting in a B-17 in World War II, odds are you spent time in Roswell at some point or another learning your job.
Exactly. Exactly. It was a place to be.
Absolutely. So that's why this museum's so cool. And when it does open up here, hopefully in a month or so, we want you to come visit it, support it, check it out. Embrace it. It is one of Roswell's treasures, and like I said, I feel like with the writing on the wall, this thing's going to get bigger, better, stronger, faster here in the coming months here, and we would love for you to be a part of that success.
Come check us out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come check us out.
When do you guys meet and stuff? As far as the board, is it
the board that we meet next Monday or Tuesday?
Okay, so you'll meet like the second Monday of the month.
Second Monday of the month.
If you're interested in that, please reach out, go to the website, and say, hey, maybe you can come to the next board meeting and learn a little bit more, meet people,
definitely.
and get the process going. And but look for bigger, better things.
Yeah.
And as soon as that museum opens up and the public's ready to go, we'll let folks know, and hopefully you make a trip on down there and spend an hour or two seeing what's in your own backyard.
Yeah. Hopefully we have the next board meeting at the museum.
That's the goal at the museum itself.
Yeah,
so hopefully that's where it's going to happen. But and then like you said, when it does open, this is what, because of volunteers and things, it really kind of works around the flying schedule. So that kind of midday
9:30,
11, 10 till about 1-ish, 12:30, 1-ish. That's when the museum's open. Now, that being said, more volunteers means more docents, means more opening hours. So if we can get a steady, stable, and I get it, people, and right now it's board members and they can work a day here or they can work a couple hours here. But if we can get a stable of folks that can do it, we can do a 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday or something.
Correct.
If we get the volunteers
and
get the staff that to man it basically.
Yeah.
And to do that. So if you're interested in doing that, we'd love to have you. If you love talking to people, meeting people, your knowledge of the museum is you'll learn that on the fly.
Oh, yeah, you will.
But if you love to talk with people, you love customer service type stuff in a fun way, because it's really chit-chatting and swapping stories. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of just learning and if you love that side of it, because there's a lot of wisdom that's going to be implanted on you. Because I was saying, some of the people you're going to meet are seasoned.
Yes. Some of the people you meet, like us. Like Robert was, he served in the Air Force for years.
Yeah, he's got quite the military career.
Oh, he does.
Yeah,
he's quite the knowledge and experience.
Yeah, sure. And I imagine, especially some of his early stuff where, he's working with the pilots and things, I imagine he got a lot of payback Because he's the guy that was making them spin and puke and do everything else. And then when he got an incentive light, it's like, oh, Sherman, huh? We got a few G's for you, buddy.
Definitely.
That is one thing that pilots love universally doing is if you get an incentive flight and you're military, or whatever, usually it's like an award, like if you're airman of the quarter, or you do something like that. They say, hey, and if your base is a base that can do that, I was at a stealth base, and unless they strap me to the wing, I ain't gonna get away. It's a one-seater deal. Yeah. But if they have, like, if you're a 15 base or a 16 base, a lot of times they have some D models that are two-seaters, and they'll put an airman back there, and the goal is let's make this kid puke, and they'll go up there and pull G's and do Top Gun nonsense all over the place, and by the end you're greening and it's like, was that fun? Yeah, because you gotta act tough for your buddies.
They make you pay for it.
Oh yeah, but it's fun. It really is.
Yeah.
Cool. But I imagine Robert got an extra dose of that just because he's the guy making them spit and puke every, their certification.
I imagine he did. I've heard no stories about that.
Right. Well, some of those stories get saved for later in the evening and things like that. But that's what this museum, it's really the history of the people. It's the history of what happened here and what people did here. And folks, come support this treasure in your backyard. As soon as we get opening here, please, in the meantime, make donations. Go to the WAFBU Museum website. Those donations would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
And let's get the ball rolling and get ready for the summer, a busy summer of stuff out at this airport.
Yeah.
And the museum ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great. This is good stuff, folks.
It's an inspiration to young people as well.
Absolutely.
And that's price eliminators.
If you're a parent, especially a parent of a kid that's middle school age or getting ready to go into high school, and they're kind of please show them the website right now. Show them all and say, look, these are all career fields in STEM, and it's a lot of aviation stuff, but not all of it. Some of it's oil field. Pretty much anything that's STEM related in southeast New Mexico, it's talking about it on that website.
Yeah.
So it's really, and then it goes in what the job is, what the qualifications, what the training requirements are. So they really look and they say, man, that sounds like a really cool job. And at that age, they can already, kind of set the table for their training and where they need to apply their learning and all that stuff. And next thing you know, they're on the path to be the next pilot or the next, air traffic controller or oil field engineer, whatever, that could be.
And it's the STEM covers a lot.
Absolutely. And of course, another thing going to put on the radar before, is when this does come back open again, if you got youth groups and things like that, that was one of the things that they love doing is they can bring smaller groups and they'll break them up if it gets into two groups or whatever, but usually about 8 or 10 kids or so.
Yeah.
And they'll get to work on see the flight simulators. There's a couple different presentations. They get to look at the STEM stuff. And so they've got a whole program put together. So if you've got a youth group or a church group or organization that wants to come out and have fun but learn a little bit about the museum and what it offers, please reach out. Now, I can't do it now, but when the museum opens back up here.
And we'll reach out too. Yeah. I mean, you reach out, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good stuff.
This is a lot of the stuff that kind of goes on the day-to-day at the museum here. So please. And so please go to the website again, wafbmuseum.org. Please read the stuff, make a donation you can, and reach out if you'd like to volunteer or get more involved here. So,
yeah,
good deal. Anything we missed, Doug?
I don't think so.
Right.
I think we covered it rather well. A lot of integration with different other things that are going on.
It's going to be so much
Roswell.
fun. It's exciting time, folks.
It is.
This is. I've been in this town since I'm not native, but I've lived here for 25 years. I've lived here since 2000.
Yeah.
And I've seen opportunities come and go over those 25 years. I've never seen nothing of this magnitude in my time I've been here, for the potential of a game changer for our community here. This could literally turn us into Crucis-sized stuff in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. Think of the numbers you get from the UFO festival. Lots of numbers. This is going to be bigger than that.
Yes.
This is going to be bigger than that. This is going to rival Balloon Fiesta size numbers in here. We're talking, there's an international audience that likes this. And there is there's a lot of nationally that come traveling to this event.
It's their biggest stop. Outside of Oshkosh.
It's going to garner a lot of people. It's going to put an international spotlight once again right here on Roswell.
Yeah.
So we are the only town of 50,000 probably on the planet known by everybody. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You call long distance.
Yeah.
You call across the nation. You say, where were you calling from? Roswell, New Mexico.
We all have to deal with that story.
We have to do that. So,
is there any aliens? Yeah. Yeah, we all know that one. It's and so this is if you don't realize that this thing's going to be much bigger than this is why you're hearing the meetings and people saying get ready for all this stuff.
Yes.
Roswell is about to become the center stage for a big event. And so every little part, the museum, from every little entity is getting ready for this.
Yes.
Yeah. So be a part of it with us.
Yes, definitely.
Well, good deal, Doug. Hopefully you don't have to hit the road with your day job much today. So you can
not today.
Sit at a desk.
Not today. Tomorrow. Hopefully the wind is
it's
better
day
nicer
for tomorrow.
flying.
Tomorrow is a nice day tomorrow. So.
Okay.
Oh, do you usually fly these or do you drive them?
I drive them.
Okay, I was about to say I didn't know if you got behind the because that's a thing around here. And it is a time saver.
It is a big thing. It is a time saver.
It's like drive 3 hours or fly 40 minutes. I'll take that.
Yeah.
My father-in-law, he was a pilot. He is retired and stopped. No, but he was an accountant in Ruidoso.
Oh,
and he had a plane, and for a point, he got up to twin engine, instrument rated, and all that, and then he he was getting a little older, and then they had an incident. Everything was fine, but it's kind of scared him, and that he sold everything after that.
Yeah.
But for years there, he was we're going to Odessa, we're going here, we're going to fly to Mexico or whatever it is. They did all, and they flew right out of the Ruidoso Airport, which I hear is one of the more interesting airports to fly in and out of because of the elevation.
It's a challenging one.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
It's a challenging one.
Good one for. So maybe those air race guys will, because they like to. They're always looking for a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, let's go see this bad boy.
Yeah.
They're up there doing touch and goes off this bad boy.
It's challenging.
Absolutely. Well, Doug, thank you very much. And
you're welcome. Thank you.
And we'll see you next month, if not sooner. And I imagine we're going to need to get you on as this thing opens up and as this month.
Probably so.
We're probably going to have to see you a little bit more often. Do all that. So.
Yeah.
We look forward to it.
I'll bring my amigos with me.
There you go.
So, that'll be great. Thanks, Michael.
The henchman. Thank you, Doug. It is 7:55. Let's pause for news, Kim Commando update, and maybe weather. And then more news. Don't go away.
Highway 18 and Highway 128 in Jal is expected to begin this summer. There are new details in the case of a missing person who was found dead at the Village of Carlsbad Apartments on National Parks Highway. The victim is identified as 31-year-old Jaden Kennedy, who had been reported missing on February 24th. Carlsbad police have not said whether they believe Kennedy's death was a homicide. Kennedy had recently moved to Carlsbad from Texas, but it's not clear how long she had been in our area. Anyone with information is urged to contact Carlsbad police. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still a little breezy, but not nearly as windy today. A few gusts around 25 miles an hour. Lots of sunshine, and we'll be in the upper 60s. For the overnight hours, a few clouds drifting through, upper 30s to low 40s. It will get a little bit more windy on Thursday with another storm system coming through. Mix of sun and clouds. We're in the upper 70s, wind gusting to 50 miles an hour. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Payroll processor ADP reports hiring pretty much dried up last month as America's private employers added a measly 77,000 jobs. The government releases its employment report for February on Friday, with employers projected to have grown their payrolls by 170,000 jobs compared to 143,000 in January. The unemployment rate thought to have held steady at 4%. The IRS is reportedly drafting plans to cut its workforce of roughly 90,000 people in half through a mix of layoffs, attrition, and incentivized buyouts. All eyes are on Wall Street today, following yesterday's major sell-off. It was prompted by the tariff dispute between the U.S. and some of its key trading partners, including China, Canada, and Mexico. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Picture this. You're behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor. You're effortlessly breaking ground, moving piles of rocks just by moving a lever, and enjoying the sun as you clear brush across your pasture. We could keep trying to put you in the moment, but to really understand what this feels like, you just have to get in the seat.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Telephone scammers are targeting energy consumers. They demand payment over the phone or warn the power will be shut off immediately. Don't fall for these scams. Central Valley Electric Cooperative will never demand payment over the phone. Please, never give out financial or personal information to someone who calls claiming to be CVE. If you get such a call or have a question about your bill, call CVE at 575-746-3571 to get the facts.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND Roswell News.